Hi there, welcome to a new concept for the channel where you, the viewer, gets to come onto the show and tell me, Houston, we have a problem. I want to hear from you, your community, and the issues you have with the United Kingdom currently. And the only thing I ask you to do is start the conversation with, Houston, we have a problem. When you see the description on YouTube, all you have to do is scroll down the description, click on that link, it'll bring you straight into the studio. From there, I'll invite you up. You start the conversation with Houston, we have a problem. We'll see what we can do to help you, your community, and your problems going forward. You never know, it might be my next journey, length and breadth of the UK, to come to your community and cover your issues. So get live, get involved. Houston, we have a problem. Good evening, everybody. Oh, got my microphone on, that might work a bit better. So, who have we got tonight? We've got a mystery co-host. And a few in the comments have already asked, I hope Big Kev's on. Unfortunately, Kev is no longer. Because Kev told us he's got lies for years. And his name is not. His name from this moment forward is, I'll just unveil his real name. How do I do it? There we go. Show display names. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Denzel, who used to know about Kevin Arata, but is now, as of Saturday, been christened Denzel. So, how are you, Denzel?
I'm all right, mate. Aye. Oh, thanks to your good lady. Do you know what I mean? See that day you done that space tea? I was sitting there, right, and you were your message me. I wait, you hear this, wait, you hear this, and then you come up and you went, "Aye, I want to out somebody who's been telling us lies." Yeah. For so long, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, he's not. Who's he talking about now?" And then went like Kevin, and I went, "Ah," and he went, "His real name's Denzel." Honestly, I couldn't pick myself off the ground, sir. I was buckled.
Well, it's going to stick. It's got to stick because I won't let it not stick. Do you know what I mean? I've left that wee protector was sitting on my desk here. This is my new toy, folks. Me and Kev both got drones. So hopefully that'll add a bit to the videos when I use it. What I was thinking when I'm at a protest and stuff, I can stand and do my sort of wee piece to camera, and once I'm finished, get a wee drone up just to, so everybody can see a better view of what's going on. And if I'm up at any of these sort of, what do you call them, like care homes and stuff that people think are going to get turned into asylum hotels, I've just got a wee bit of footage while I'm talking nonsense, and you don't need to look at my ugly mug. So I bought that. I got it off a guy called DJR Media, who's a young lad we met up in Peterhead, and we also bumped into him down at Aberdeen protest on Saturday, and he just got a new one. So it's a fair bit of kit, done me a right fair deal on it, and we'll see how we got on with that. And the money that it cost me, I used it, the money that you guys put into YouTube through memberships and stuff, because I always buy equipment and stuff for that. So that was my latest purchase that you've helped me with. So thank you very much. And Denzel, you get one as well.
Yes, I sure have, Captain Craig.
How are you getting on with yours?
Thanks to a friend of ours on X called Scottish Veteran. Purchased me that one. Very appreciative of it. I see somebody asked if we got a license. Yes, both of us have got an Upper ID and Flyer ID. Which we
how did you get on? How did you get on with the Flyer ID?
I'm not right.
Flyer,
We've already nah. You're right. Look, we're not speaking about this, right? Because just because you're a brain box, right?
Oh, I'm just curious, mate. Because see, you get 40 questions and multiple choice.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, hold on to figure this out, right? I got pass marks 30 out of 40. Right?
That's right.
And I get 38 out of 40. How did your score go, mate?
I passed. Right. I can't remember that. I can't remember my score, Craig.
You can't remember your score. Well, okay. Well, if you get one more wrong, you wouldn't have had a license. That's what I'm saying.
I got 30 out of 40. But hey, look who's
here. Look who's here, DJR Media. He's in the room.
I see him.
Come on up, Roberto. There's a link there. Click it. Come up and get a blether. Tell us how you're going. And you're right.
Somebody else is saying,
boys and toys.
I see somebody else is saying, hope it's a 249 gram one. then you're okay for flying in public. You're actually with the operator ID and flyer ID, you can fly above that as well now.
You can what? Sorry.
You can fly above that. Weight.
What, 400 feet?
No, the weight, because
Oh, right. But you can only do that if you've got 30 or more in your score. So you'll be struggling.
all you need to do is pass, right? Did I pass? Yes. Right? For somebody that's never flown a drone, never doesn't know nothing about them, never even looked into the rules and regulations or even read anything about them, to sit that straight away, blind as anything, I think I've done pretty decent. So I'll take that pass all day long.
Look at this. I'm getting slaughtered for my background. Cheeky buggers. Cheeky articles. Anyway, until we get some folk being brave enough to come up and say, Houston, we have a problem, and tell us what your problems are, because that's kind of why we do the show, and I always try and get one or two of my pals to come up as a co-host, just in case A, you are too shy, or B, it takes you a wee bit of time to get involved. So if you're you want to get involved, there's DJR, we'll get you in a wee second, buddy. All you do is go onto YouTube or X, and at the title on X, there's a little link. Copy and paste that into your browser and jump in. It'll bring you into the studio. And I got a wee beat me here when they're in the studio. DJR Media has just come in, so I'll bring them up in a wee second. Or if you're on YouTube, it's in the description. Just click the link and we'll get you in. So, there's the man himself. We're just talking about how are you tonight, DJR Media?
Busy. Just had my new video go out, so just been waiting for YouTube to accept it, and been a long time.
Video, buddy?
So I went up to a recent hotel, new one in Aberdeen. New protest. It's on Saturday as well, 6 p.m. And just capturing, as I usually do, whatever happens. Just go there with my camera. Whatever happens, happens. But I got a really interesting interview with a previous staff member, and what he said, it was quite concerning. Leave it on the little cliffhanger to go and watch the video, but yeah.
So where's this new hotel?
I think Shore Hotel, Best Western. That's the name of the hotel, but it's just out from the city centre. But it's a new one that people have started protesting at. But like I say, it's on Saturday as well. And we're having a few guest speakers come down for that.
Brilliant. So what I'll do just now, if you give me a wee second, I'll just try and do this. Share. Where are you laughing at?
Oh,
Let's see laughing at
Rich D332. Craig Houston is my third favourite jock after Michelle McManus and Lorraine Kelly.
Well, at least I'm in front of Denzel, artist formerly known as Kev Duranta.
Brilliant.
So, guys, this is what?
That's brilliant.
Shut up. Anyway, this is, if you see my screen just now, that's DJR Media's YouTube channel. And if you're not already subscribed to him, if you want to do that, and I'll just flick down these videos because it's quite a strange things happened to him over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
If you go down to the
videos,
it's been a lot of good. I went through a load of these, and there's some really good stuff there about Armed Forces Day in Aberdeen, bus museums, Aberdeen University. Some of the footage for that's amazing. Don't agree with this one, but you had Aberdeen FC's parade. I don't like that.
I'm a bit jealous still, aren't you?
You what? Sorry.
Yeah, a bit heartbroken still.
And there's some good stuff. And then recently, as you go up in time, we then started seeing this one here, 77,000 views. Now, for somebody that's had less than 1,000 subscribers at the time, that's absolutely amazing.
Well,
viewers.
It was 172 subscribers on the 2nd of August, so that just shows you how much it's boosted up, really.
So that's a video that's sort of major mark, and then it's all been sort of protest stuff, mostly of everyone bar one since then. And it looks as if you're wanting to know what's happening in protests in the northeast of Scotland, DJR's your man. So I would recommend going over there onto YouTube, give him a wee sub, and keep an eye out because his stuff's good. And a funny feeling, because he's got a few years advantage in me, that he's got a lot of years ahead of him. he'll be developing into a very, very prominent YouTuber in the protest scene going forward, guys. So I would highly recommend that. So you enjoying your newfound career?
I mean, it's a big change, obviously, from what I've previously done, but it's obviously helped to grow for the channel a lot. You know, getting monetized now, that's a massive help. Because I'm fully independent, you know, so this is all I do. This is I'm going full time basically into YouTube now, so any help really, you know, it supports me. Getting new equipment and everything just to make the videos better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and this drone that I was showing you earlier, this was DJR's.
my old one.
If you look at his, if you look at any of his drone footage that he's got so far on his channel, that's all with this one. So I'm looking forward to figuring out how to work it and getting active with it. So thanks very much for your help with that, buddy. There we go.
No worries, man.
Zoe found him. Just subscribed. That's what it's all about.
I appreciate that.
So, what's happening up in Aberdeen then? Are they just finding more hotels, or are these new ones that's opened up, mate?
Well, this one, it has been open for quite a while, but there was a story that was released.
Sorry?
There was a story that was put out on Facebook about them catcalling, you know, a certain age group, and that was the issue that everyone wanted to, you know, basically capture at this event. Like, it's not right what was going on, and I think the whole community was obviously really concerned. And speaking to the staff member as well, when I was standing there, you could see his face, and you know, even in his face, he was just he was wanting to cry, you know, and it was horrific to stand there with him, you know, hearing what he was hearing, hearing what he was saying. I'm sorry.
So when will this video that you've got the great interview, when will that be out, mate?
Well, it's out right now. It just premiered. So full video's out now. You click on it. There's a little introduction to it, but
oh, this
yeah,
one
the
here.
full
Right.
interview.
Oh, yeah, got you there.
First one.
I'll not show the whole thing and ruin the thing.
No, I mean,
go on.
there's a little like promo thing at the start, and that's
illegal migration. You're on Facebook. You're going to shout. Let's go on it now. Come on. It's a build up for Saturday. Come on.
Charges they've got when they were let to go.
That's the guy interviewing him just now here.
He didn't want his face on it, obviously, because he's an ex-staff member. So I just pointed at the ground.
No, fair play. Did you see the interview that John got on Saturday with the young girl that stayed across the road?
Yeah, I did see that one. I did see John's one.
Oh, there you go. You're getting you paid.
Aye.
Incredible, isn't it? That's an hour's worth of footage. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When was this?
That was yesterday.
Play you just.
But yeah, it's a lot near the end. Some crossers and surrounds going about as well at the end.
And is that the hotel there?
Aye, that's the one. That's the hotel over there.
There's your drone.
Aye, that's my new one.
And learn about everyone else's religion.
Fair play to you, mate. Fair play. So, how many hotels do they think there is up in Aberdeen that's got migrants in it?
Well, I think there's been 6 that I've been told about, but the protest, I think they're only just starting to come alive in Aberdeen, really. But obviously, a lot of people are getting the police trapping at the door, which it's starting to scare people away from them.
Yeah. Just to cover one point, Mick Complainer has said, "Why are the other guys not in video?" Well, probably the same that you're using an homme de plume and a photograph of what's probably a hedgehog or a comedy haggis. Some people
AI
just don't want
generated.
it. I mean, that's what the problem with it. So, aye.
I mean,
that's why.
I just try and focus on whatever happens. You know, if my face gets included in a video, I don't care. It's just I don't want me to be the main attention. But some people include their face, some people don't. It's just different people have different styles, you know.
I see Sugar Pies asking, can you drop me a link? I don't know what of, but I'm guessing it will be that video because I'm just doing that. Copy that. I think it's only me or mods can put a link into the comments. So there you go. I'm just popping up just now for you guys. So scary times. So Kev, what have you been up to recently? I've not seen you coming back down the road from Aberdeen. I've been away myself for 3 days. I was up in Perthshire Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So what's been getting your attention?
I kind of lost my voice for a couple of days there, which I suppose isn't a bad thing. So I've been collating some information for people. Been sending me a list of hotels and things like that to check up on. My plan was to go out last night, but I got caught up with a couple of things. So I'm hoping to maybe get out tonight to go and check out one of them. It's quite local. I'm just keeping an eye on any kind of protests that are getting lined up as well. Obviously, there's one in Falkirk on Saturday at 12 o'clock at the Claddon. If anybody's in that region, try and show up to give the guys a bit of support. Obviously, Aberdeen, you've got the one again outside the Thistle, and obviously now it's DJR just confirmed there must be another one being organised. I mean,
Best Hotel.
Sorry, mate.
Best Hotel, Sure Hotel, I think is the name.
It's getting ridiculous now. I mean, Ryan H put a video yesterday, so if anybody does know Ryan H is one of the guys that spoke at the Peterhead rally about the safety of kids and the indoctrination of our kids. And he is currently residing with a family member, him, his partner and his kid. He went onto the list for to get a property, and they got a letter to tell him that they removed him from the list, cancelled his application because he can't prove that he's got a no fixed abode, which I find fucking ironic. Sorry for swearing there. I find ironic when these people are coming into your country and just getting housed in hotels, getting 3 square meals a day. And both Ryan and his missus are both actually ex-army vets. Both of them served in Afghanistan. And it's starting to really infuriate me now because even more than it ever has done. I mean, you had John Swinney today on social media with a T-shirt on "I Refugees Welcome," and as you rightly pointed out in his thread, is any of them staying in a hotel near you, or are you going to be taking any of these refugees in? And which the answer will be no and no. And there's that Thistle Hotel. You heard John Watts interview. The young lass that stays directly across the road for it. There's no women and children in there. I was talking to somebody for a place called Blackburn in West Lothian. There's a hotel there called the Cairn Hotel. That again, there's a guy that works in there has actually told them that again that hotel is fully just nothing but men, no women and children, and yet people are out there counter protesting against concerned citizens that are turning up to air their concerns about these unvetted, undocumented men making their way to their country. Whenever they go, the crime increases, sexual assaults increase, even rapes have been recorded and reported. Yet these absolute Looney Tunes just turn up to counter protest people there that are saying we don't want them in our area, and yet our government just keeps turning around saying, "These are more than welcome to come here." No, they're no. They need to be gone. They don't belong here. Many times have you said it on that platform that if you want to migrate to another country, there's legal channels in doing so. You don't need coming across here in a dinghy, breaking in, and then getting the taxi service, which is RNLI, to bring you to your shores, and then just getting scattered all over the country. And you know my take on it, Craig. I've spoke to you about it before. I don't know if I can say it on your channel, so I'll not say it just right now. But the key thing is they're all men. All men. There's no families there. And these absolute cranks that sit there and say, oh, they're just fleeing poverty, they're fleeing war-torn countries. Well, where's their families then? Any man that flees a country that's war-torn, the man stays behind and the women and children get sent away to face safety. It's absolute nonsense. And these people are buying it constantly, just constantly buying the absolute crackpots that are telling them that it's information, that these are refugees. They're not. They're criminals. They broke into your country. They've came here illegally. They're criminals, and they should be treated as such. There should be either jails set up for them. There should be detention camps like they do in America. That we should not be putting these people in 3, 4, 5-star accommodation. These people are also working from these hotels. There's hotels making money on the back of these people. You've seen some of the hotels down south where the Deliveroo's working at the back of there. There's
but the hotels are making the food. Some of the hotels have been making the food. Tell me this, Kev, what's wrong with just sending them to Ascension Islands?
Well, that was one of your ideas, and I mean, I've heard
it's not, to be fair, it's not my idea. It's the SDP's policy. And I'm starting to be the leader of the SDP in Scotland, and it was one of the main things that attracted me to the party.
You know what I mean?
It's a dead simple thing that if you come here illegally, we'll transport you to Ascension Islands and we'll deal with your application there. But if you've came in illegally, you'll not be getting one. Your application will not pass.
I mean, Big Robbie brought this up ages ago too with the Ascension Islands, and you're absolutely right. Why can we not just put them there? They don't need to be in communities. They're making communities unsafe. They're making cities unsafe.
Well,
right?
And people can Ascension Islands, Kev, is though you wouldn't need to send that many there, if any at all, because what's happening is you've seen the footage, right? After I went to Cali, I went to the front line in the EU where they're coming into the EU. One of the places, and that was Lesbos. So there's thousands of them landing into Greece, and then they're safe at that point. And in fact, they're coming from Turkey, and I don't know if many of them are asylum seekers from Turkey. In fact, I think the whole number of asylum seekers from Turkey is 0, right? So they've left Turkey to come into the EU. Now, Turkey's not having a civil war, so they're not unsafe in Turkey. Anyway, they're Greece, and then they're in Greece, which there's no war going on in Greece. And then they travel right across Greece, right across into the mainland of Europe, and up to where I then had the footage of thousands of them in Cali and living in the forests and things like that. That's not unsafe either. So
they're not
paying anything to come here. You're coming here through choice because what we offered you is the best in Europe, right? So if we then offered you, we're not going to sink your boat, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to accept an application of you, but we'll process it from Ascension Islands, which we own. It's the middle of the Atlantic. We'll pop you there. That would make a lot of them think, well, France is actually not too bad, right? So that's what Rwanda would have done. But, the civil servants and some politicians took a hump with that, and it wasn't good, and you can't send them to a foreign country. Well, Ascension Islands isn't a foreign country. So you're not going to that problem. And I guarantee you probably wouldn't need to send many, if any at all, to Ascension Islands, and they just go, no, we're not having that. And what I'm going to propose to the party is what we do with deportation for the millions that are here illegally is give them 2 choices. Tell them you can go home in the next 6 months, and you could actually give them, money to make that attractive, a few £1,000s or so, and it's still cheaper than having them here. And you've got 6 months to do that. And if you don't go in this window, then we're going to come looking for you. And when we find you, we're going to send you to Ascension Islands until we deal with your case and decide what's happening with you. And how many would then go, I'll take the money, thanks. It'd be like what's that old Edmonds show with the banker? Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? I'll deal with that. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. Because if you don't open your box and it says you're going to Ascension Island. So I kind of think that's a sensible second part of a really good policy and how you deal with asylum and the overcrowdedness in here. So we've got Bear in who was come up, I think the last show, the one up, one previous. So Bear, you know the rules. Come up, tell us who's to have a problem, and tell us what your problem is, buddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, is my audio okay? Yeah.
100%.
Right. Let me just fix it 1 minute and then I'll be back.
It's fine. Anyway, there was a thing up there. Was asking, Houston, we have a problem. Is it true that you're in the final three to narrate Nicola Sturgeon's autobiography for audio?
Sorry about that.
I heard it's between you, Michelle McManus, and Brian Cox. That would be there's only two things that probably stop me doing that. The first is my accent. Half the people that would want to listen to it would never know what I'm saying. And the other thing is I probably wouldn't say too many words because I would be laughing most of the time. But I quite fancy that. So Bear, how are you? Tell us, Houston, we have a problem, and tell us what your problem is, buddy.
So Houston, my problem is the online bill that was enacted not too long ago. Yeah, absolutely livid about it when it was enacted, and then pretty much since then, every little thing has just added onto my already severe hatred of the government. So
what in particular about this bill do you not like?
Particularly, well, 2 points for me. A is the fact that the government are now beginning their steps into controlling the internet, and give it a few years and it'll be a case like China, where the UK has its own internet within the island. My second point is all the other stuff they snuck into the bill, where they tried to primarily say it was about children not being able to view adult things. But then when you actually look at the bill proposition, it was you can't say certain things online or do certain things online.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that we see a lot of that. Even some laws that are written with good intentions, but by the time they get passed, there's that many amendments that they don't resemble what they were originally for in the first place, or a law gets passed and then interpretation of it is slightly skewed. But this one, I don't believe it was done in good intentions originally. I think it was sold under good intentions. And anybody who wants to put anything in to protect children online isn't a bad thing. But behind that was so much other things that weren't about protecting kids that makes it all a bit weird. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, mate. How do we fix it?
But we could fix a lot of problems if we did this. Just get rid of the government and have a direct democracy.
Mm-hmm. That's what you spoke last time, and I was like, yeah, I kind of get it, but it's nobody representing. Then we say, right, what we're going to set duty at fuel at, whereas everybody that could vote in a referendum for that's going to say, well, set it at 0.
Yeah.
So
I'd also allow Scotland its independence and any other country that wants to.
No. Okay, away you go, Bear. We've had a referendum on that. We already had that question, and the people in Scotland are probably, it's fairest that they decide what happens to the independence of Scotland. And the vote was lost. The no thank you vote won. So we've sort of done that to death, and we've spent the last when was that, Kev? 2014. So we spent
2014, mate.
Arguing and no actually getting on with governing Scotland since, because the ones in power didn't get the vote that they wanted, and have been moaning about it ever since. So we need to shut up about independence. We need to take the powers that we've already got and abuse them to make Scotland a better place, instead of not accepting the vote and blaming Westminster for every single thing that goes wrong in Scotland. So no, I can't agree with that one, buddy, but I do listen, everybody's allowed their opinion. But I think it would be fair if there was a referendum in Northern Ireland, there was a referendum in Wales, there was a referendum in England, or there was a referendum in Cornwall, because some people want Cornwall to be independent, then it's kind of down to the people in Cornwall to decide that, not the people that are not. So I wouldn't go shouting Scotland should be independent when you. I might be wrong. Do you live here?
Not myself. No, I'm from Liverpool, so I'm close to Scotland. But
yeah. Okay, so if people in Liverpool were deciding if Liverpool should be Scouse, the autonomous region of Scouse land or whatever they wanted to do, it would be kind of down to them. I would leave it to them argue that point. So
Yeah.
anyway, 100% with you on the bill. It's just one of these other ones. It's just not for the reasons that we were told. The truth is behind it. And
Yeah, it was. The thing is, you brought up a great point where you'll have laws in place to do one thing, but when those laws become obsolete, they change it, as we've seen in Scotland, where there was a lot of sectarian laws, but when that stuff began to quell, they changed those laws to, oh no, it's no longer to prevent sectarianism, it's to prevent like speech or like wrong speech.
Yeah, and again, when you say hurtful and hateful and stuff like that, you're not allowed to say these things anymore. It's who decides what's hurtful and hateful, because we'd all have different barometers for that, and I wouldn't trust those that are in power to not abuse those powers. So
exactly, yeah, because if those powers are in place and you get someone in office who, let's say he really hates the left wing and starts using those powers against them, I wouldn't agree with it for the start, but they were the ones that put that power there, and now it's being used against them.
Aye, it's madness, mate. Well, listen, Bear, thanks very much. I think that's the second time you've came up, and I do appreciate it, because that's why we started this. It was to get people to come up and get their views across, and we can agree on 90%. What normal people should be able to do in this day and age. So thanks very much for coming up, mate.
Oh no, you're very welcome.
Hopefully hear from you again soon, and we've got Chris just about to come up. So Chris, get your intro. Houston, we have a problem. Tell us what it is. The floor is yours, my friend.
You can hear me.
I can hear you now, Chris.
Oh, fantastic. Hello. I live in Berkshire, the southern part of England. I've worked in the education system. And for quite some time, it's been quite obvious that individuals who are entering into classroom situations are not the ages that they state to be on paper.
Yeah.
This is really quite an abuse. It's been going on a very, very long time. My own experience is that many of the other, should we call them students, learners, kids, they're quite aware of this. But what I've also noticed is growing sectarianism. A certain demographic don't mix with the other cultures and ethnicities unless they absolutely have to. And I don't think this bodes well. It's also quite clear that many education authorities, individual schools, colleges, are going out of their way with particular DEI policies, pushing it down the throats of the young people every opportunity, and these young people not being given the very fair deal, to be quite honest. On top of that, I feel that many of the younger people, if they do object, if they do speak out, they are victimized, they are treated as second class within the classroom situation. That's one observation. Another observation as well is watering down of curriculum. So, for example, giving certain students extra time in exams. For example, today in England and Wales was when the kids got their A-level results. So many kids gaining extra 25% extra time in exams simply because they're so-called English as an additional language learners. Often getting extra support to the detriment of native English speakers. These are just some of the observations I thought I should mention, but also it's particularly putting female students, I believe, at a disadvantage if they're in a classroom with people from a particular background, different cultures. It's all swept under the carpet when incidents do happen. I think parents need to be quite worried, but also it's been quite telling that I think there's 7 UK citizens cities where Mohammed is now the most prominent name for a baby. So give another 20 years, demographically, it's quite clear that there's going to be a major shift. I'm also aware that, for example, even Nigel Farage said that the Islamic community is doubling every 10 years. So, in terms of how people will be pushing an agenda through the education system, I'm very much aware and conscious of this, and I just thought I'd put it out there as
Yeah.
a concern.
No, that's great that you've to come up to speak. First of all, Chris, because this is what the show is all about, and secondly, the points you bring up are absolutely worthwhile and sharing, because a lot of people are not aware of this. Now, you say that you're still in education in Berkshire, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
How long have you worked in education, Chris?
I don't mind sharing that with you. I've been a teacher since the early 1990s. I've also worked in other parts of the world.
So,
Yeah, but
so in that time, I
Mhm.
take it you've seen massive changes, particularly, if you just consider the time you've worked in the United Kingdom.
Yes,
I take it you've seen massive changes there.
particularly in the curriculum. Also, I will use the word infiltration. There's been infiltration of particular ideologies. And now, with the lowering of the age at which young people can vote, I'm aware that some of the teaching unions are behind the scenes, maybe not quite so behind the scenes, quite openly. They're pushing for particular curriculum to be pushed in the schools aimed at the 16-year-olds.
Now, one thing I'd like to say is I've seen, I've never done a video on it because I kind of thought about it and considered it. I was sent videos about 4 or 5 months ago from one source who collated them from several sources, and it was video that school kids had taken in secondary schools in Glasgow, in different schools, with
Yes,
pupils in the class with them that looked probably as old as me and Kevin.
yes,
And, they were passing them off as 14 and 15. And you're thinking, this is bonkers. Because, and it's even take things like PE, going to the toilet. These things are,
yes.
adults should not be, these people were evidently adults. It wasn't borderline. I coach kids football up as a volunteer. And you do see a lot of kids who are just, we've seen them as well in education. They're
Yes,
just further along the adolescence than they maybe should be, and the other people in their class. But these ones are not. These are adults. And
yes,
because I believe one of the main reasons is if you put your asylum application as a child, it goes through a different process than if you're an adult. So being a child is helpful. I believe that's one of the things, but it's scary now that you're at the opposite end of the geographical setup of our country, and you're seeing the same there. So that would suggest to me that if we spoke to someone who was brave enough in education, as you are, to talk out about it in Birmingham or Newcastle or Aberdeen or wherever, we would get a similar result and a similar answer. But try and find people as brave as you, Chris, who are currently still in education.
yeah. I've had a very bad experience. No need to elaborate on it, but I have had a very bad experience. Yes, I'm also aware of another school. I won't mention the name. I would just say it's a school in the southern part of England where a particular department was celebrating Vietnam Victory Day over the United States, where they're encouraging the kids to make communist posters in the classroom.
Stop it.
The same school also were raising money to send to Cuba. Particular classroom walls were decorated with Cuban and Vietnamese flags, pictures of Ho Chi Minh.
Wow.
Could you do me a favour, Chris? Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
Right. If you're on Twitter and you have any links in local newspapers or anything that refers to these things, could you send them in a DM on Twitter? Because I would love to investigate these further and expose them to a 10-minute moan video.
I could email it to you later this evening.
Superb. The email address is very simple. It's Craig Houston Talks To, which is the name of the channel. So it's Craig Houston Talks To @gmail.com.
Thank you. I will do that. In addition, there's certain other policies that are often pushed which you can tell that some of the staff don't really believe it, but for whatever reason they lack conviction, they lack courage to actually speak out. They sit there like nodding donkeys, going along with it. But it impacts young people very badly.
Yeah. Just now, I've got Bobby lined up to come up next. Bobby, it's saying you'll need to connect your mic stroke cam before you can be added to the stream. So if you can hear me and you can do anything about that, Bobby, I'll get you up. As soon as you've sorted it. Well, Chris, I can't thank you enough because great chat, great topic, and enlightening all at the same time. And I can assure you, if you email me the stuff on that, I'll do a wee bit more digging with a view of doing a 10-minute one expose on it. So thank you very much for joining the show. And any other time you're in and you want to come up, just do the same again. It's that's the whole reason for having the show. And we thank you for watching, but being brave enough to come up and make some.
A pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, buddy.
Bye-bye.
So, Kev, DJ, what do you think of that horrible information we've just received?
It's
I think if the information gets put to you and you start doing a bit of digging in it, I think we'll expose even more horrifying things. This is the thing that they're targeting the kids, so that future there is going to be brainwashed for the future for their agenda, and they really need to start getting. We really need to start getting a grip of these schools. I'm thinking. I mean, my kids are just about left school, but that shouldn't mean the fact that I should never care what's happening to kids in school. So I'm actually going to email a couple of the local schools and see if I can get a copy of their curriculums. And I think we should all be doing that because that's terrifying.
Yeah. I just seen I'm flying through the comments here looking for. If you want to ask a question, if you put double Q, a capital Q, it'll be great because I can find them easier when I'm scrolling through hundreds. And I just seen somebody mentioning hello Shoab. So Shoab's obviously in the room. If you're in Shoab, jump up. We'll get we updating what's happening with you and you're trying to kick Shoab out of the country for talking up about illegal immigrants, which is a bit bonkers. Anyway, we've got Bobby Boucher is in the room, who Kevin and I will know through many X space back in the day. So Bobby, just come up, tell us who's going to have a problem, and this floor is yours. But you need to get your mic off. There we go. How you doing, Bobby? You there, Bobby? Bobby? Can I hear you, buddy?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, hear you now,
Hello?
buddy. How are you?
Houston, we have far too many problems and not enough solutions.
Brilliant. So what's getting your attention most just now, Bobby?
Well, my attention was probably back in 2001, but I'll not go into that one. No, my main attention, I mean, I seen you flying about Perth the other day. I seen some of your stuff on X. Yeah, I've seen the destruction of Perth, which used to be just an amazing city. Well, it was a small farm, kind of town centre, basically. It was farm related. And the destruction over the past, I would say, 4 to 5 years has just been shocking, to be honest with you.
Are you local to Perth, Bobby, or is it somebody?
Yeah, I'm fairly local, yes.
Yeah, well, I was shocked, mate. Perth's, my grandparents had a wee holiday home up in Perthshire when I was a kid, and that's many happy memories of it. And I was up there for 3 days. You know, we're in Glen Eagles, you've got, no the hotel, because I can't quite afford that, but you've got privately owned holiday homes and they get rent out from time to time. So I was in one of them for a couple of nights, Monday night and Tuesday night, and we were all over the place. And you see, when you go away from Perth, it's stunning. You know, we were in Aberfeldy, we were in Pitlochry, we were in Taymouth, we were in Crieff. Lovely.
I was in all those places as well.
Shut up. You telling? You started to sniff out where Houston was.
I'm seeing exactly where you're going.
These places are the same as they were when they're probably a wee bit better because they've got nicer amenities and stuff like that. But they're still the same. right?
Exactly.
And you've got the same demographics living there, and you get the same demographic visiting it, and then you go to Perth. And somebody put a pointer on the post that I put on Twitter, that back in the day, you had Perth was the posh place and Dundee not so nice.
Correct.
Whereas now, I'm not saying Dundee's posh, but Dundee's probably better than Perth these days. And to see the destruction of that place in such a small period of time is frankly outrageous. And I think it's no
It's not safe to
surprise
walk.
that-
It's really not safe to walk the streets.
Mhm. And you'll
And
know
it's
better
not just,
than me,
and
but
it's not just. I mean, I'm going to be really honest with you here. It's the immigration side. I'm 100% behind you here, 100%, because that has had a huge play on what's happened to Perth. But the big problem I've noticed in Perth is the drug problem.
Yeah.
The actual drugs that are going around, and I think it's probably throughout the whole of Scotland. The youngsters now are being able to get drugs cheaper than alcohol, and it's just it's spiraling way out of control.
Yeah, I think it's immigration is a problem,
Big
and
style,
themselves is a problem, but there is also this thing that again is affecting the whole of Scotland, and that's the drug culture that we've got. We've got the worst drug deaths in Europe again.
The kids, I mean, I've got children, and I am just horrified at what's actually going on in society with that problem. So that's another problem. I've got about 300 other problems as well, but
Aye. I'm trying to get to bed about 10 o'clock tonight, mate. So you do it over a period of a few.
The biggest problem that I've had, and I've had since probably, I would say 21, 22, is obviously you'll have seen a lot of my stuff on X. I mean, I am just disgusted at the way they call things vaccines, which they're not vaccines, they're genetic therapies. And they push that throughout the whole of the world. And I mean, it's just the Scottish government have not supported any of these injuries or bereaved families whatsoever in this country. And I think that's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. One of the maddest things, see when you talk about independence and things like that, and they're talking to people that are English, and you've not got all day to bore them to death about how bad things are up here and why we need change. And I always say to them, I'll tell you one stat, and if you understand this stat, I'll give you an idea how terrible these people are at governing. In the 17 years that they've been in power, they've managed to reduce the life expectancy of people in Scotland. Now, to be able to do that without a war, if that was your target, you'd struggle to achieve it.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the truth. So when you appreciate that one stat, it kind of, you don't need a big long conversation about how bad the SNP are at being in government. That's kind of where it begins and where it ends.
Yep.
Anything else is just more reasons that they're so terrible. But I mean, it's shocking, and I just really hope. I was gutted. I went for a wee drive through Perth City on
I wish
Monday night.
see if I'd known, I would have had you in for a cup of tea.
I appreciate that, but you probably understand why I don't tell people publicly where I'm going in my days, right? I tend to tell them on the way out. See, the first post I done was in a wee coffee shop in Dunblane, and I was taking a photo, and my girlfriend's like, "Ah, what are you doing?" I says, "I'm going to put this on just so folk know I'm in Perth."
See, I remember being in Dunblane in 2020 with when we started the Stand in the Park group.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dunblane's got a lot of fun memories.
But what I said to her, I said, "Don't panic. I'll put it on X as I'm walking out the place. Knows I'm walking in, right?" Because she was like, "Oh, don't want any of the nutters knowing me." Yeah, you know the crazies that she has to see and listen to on Twitter saying nice things about man. So that's what I kind of do, mate. So I don't say I'm going to Dunblane tomorrow.
No, that's fair enough.
I tend to go to Dunblane tomorrow and then tell people when I'm on my way out that I'm to Dunblane. So we went out to Perth and with a view of maybe stopping somewhere nice for something to eat. And we didn't. So we drive about, and I was really, I almost booked a flat not far from that where I took that photograph, where the river comes down.
Yep.
My God, I'm glad I paid the wee bit extra and got the one that wasn't in Perth, because that's kind of where I was going to go. I thought really sensible. And my wee stepson, he's a goalkeeper for St Johnstone's under 14s, and they had a game on the Tuesday, so that was another reason he got there.
Perfect. Yeah.
And it was obviously been handier for his game at McDermott. But I was bloody delighted. I was 20 minutes away, to be perfectly honest with you. It was shocking, mate. But Bobby,
I know.
thank you very much.
No
for
bother.
popping
You
up.
take it easy.
Don't be a stranger. Just try to turn
won't.
this into the way the spaces were for a while. You know.
No, I mean,
just
I
everybody
was
up.
in space. I was probably one of the first lot in Spaces many years ago when it all
Aye.
kicked off. Well, I get banned off of Twitter and all that kind of nonsense, and managed to get back in, and it was a crazy time. That's all I'm going to say. But it's all fine. I mean, the freedom of speech is slow, but it's still just I'm completely restricted on X as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, I've got a court case pending. Well, it's not pending, it's live. I was meant to give up to court last Friday. 2 days before it, 40 hours out, get advised by the Procurator Fiscal that probably wasn't going to happen. I had the police at my door on Thursday issuing me with a new summons to go in September.
that's
So
nuts.
it's crazy
nuts.
days. But listen, mate, thanks very much for
I
coming
won't be
in.
a stranger,
and,
and just
please
watch
don't.
out. One thing at last point I want to make everyone aware of. Be very aware of the next lot of medical products coming out, which will be self-replicating RNA.
What does that mean?
And well, that's not good. That basically means it can really shed on to other people dramatically, like a contagion.
What, the drug that you take?
An injection. It's a
So
self-replicating
it can be injected
RNA.
with something, and
Yep.
that can affect other people.
Yes.
Wow.
It's already in Japan.
Oh my God.
So
Right,
I'm just
we'll keep
warning
an eye
you.
out for that.
Trust me. You can bring any doctor, any professor up, and I'll go toe to toe with them on science. Any of them, any one of them.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Well, hopefully we don't need to do that, but if we do, the man will get you in. So you can get somebody for the medical profession to tell us about this new wonderful.
Because the medical profession don't tell you the whole story, and a lot of people don't tell you the whole story. So you've got to understand the story to explain it to people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Well, Bobby, thanks very much. Pleasure to hear your
problem.
voice. I haven't heard it for a while, and don't be a stranger, mate.
Won't
Speak
be.
soon.
Take it easy.
Thanks, buddy. Right, we've got another person who's joined in to the green room, as you call it. Don't like that name. And this one could be a bit controversial. His name is Migrant. So, Migrant, I'm going to bring you up in a second. Just start the sentence by saying, Houston, we have a problem, and tell us what's annoying you, buddy. The floor is yours.
Houston, we do have a problem with things, and it's the racism that I've experienced in Scotland, being an immigrant. That's the problem that we have currently, my friend.
Yeah. And how does this racism manifest itself in front of you, Migrant?
Horrible people like yourself that like to talk down to people that are from different countries, my friend, that wasn't given opportunities in that country, so they have to leave and go to Scotland and be amongst people like you, and that we get spoken down.
I'm racist towards you.
Come here then.
Hold on a wee second, Kev. Right, Migrant, you made a big claim there. You've made a big claim there, a big claim that I am racist. So maybe you could highlight anything that I've done that can back up your claim that I am racist.
Well, I'm not going to go into that, my friend, but it's pretty obvious.
Stop. We are. No, stop.
Racist.
We are going to go into that, and I'll tell you why. You have made a big, massive claim publicly against me, and we have laws of defamation in this world. So what I would suggest you do in your next sentence is give me one example to back up your claim that I'm a racist. If you can't do that, I'm going to take you out the call, because I will not have people making claims against me that I'm not willing to back up. If you want to back it up, I'm quite happy to debate it with you. If you're not, I will remove you from the chat. So I'm going to ask you one more time and give you the floor and the public domain that you have right now to explain why Craig Houston is a racist.
Because it shows in what you're saying, my friends. I've been listening to this live stream for the last.
So can you give me one example then, please?
Yes, you were talking to a gentleman a few minutes ago, my friend, another Scottish person, I guess, I don't know. But and you're going on about how immigration's so bad for Scotland. And
yes, it's because we get too many. So can you, again, I'm going to ask you to be very clear now, saying that the immigration is too high.
This is our country now, my friend.
How does... Kevin, stay back, Kevin.
You're not going to stop anything, my friend.
When I say immigration level is too high, can you explain to me one reason if that makes me racist?
Yes, because you're...
Now, this is the third time I've asked you.
Yes, I'm listening to you. You keep saying that there's too many immigrants here that are all destroying
That's a
the country.
racist comment. Is that racism?
Yes, it is, my friend.
Right. I'm
And
going
you're
to
not
just
going to
do
stop
something
us.
just now. Could you stop with me? Sorry, what is that? You ain't going to stop us. You ain't going to stop us what?
I'll talk to you the way I want to talk to you, my friend. It's our country.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You ain't going to stop us?
Your
Who is
country
they
matters.
and who are we going to not stop you doing what?
You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop us immigrants from going to Scotland.
Aye,
Right.
come on,
Okay.
come up there.
I'm
We'll
going to
see.
bring in somebody just now, right? And I'm going to ask them one question, and that one question is Craig Houston a racist? So show up.
It doesn't
Could
matter.
you give me your opinion on is Craig
It doesn't
Houston a
matter
racist?
what he says.
Hello, hi.
This is our
Can
country.
you shut
I'm
up,
just gonna-
guy? Can you shut this guy up, Craig,
Yeah,
for a
just
second? Hello, hi, Craig. Hello, everybody.
give you the floor.
Right, sure.
I'm an immigrant, and I can say this little idiot that you shouldn't even let him in. Craig is not a racist, and you,
This is
what
our
is a
country.
migrant? You're
Shut your
an
mouth.
absolute idiot. This is not your country. It never will be. Why don't you go back to whatever country you've
Scotland is
come
our
from?
country.
Yeah, this is not your country. Like, let him speak, Craig. Let him speak. Let me see what you have to say.
I want to hear your point first. Sure.
Yeah, so see, first of all, let me tell you, Craig is not a racist. I've spoken to the guy, and let me tell you, if you think he's a racist because of what he was saying, talking about immigration, let me tell you this: I'm an immigrant, and I do not want any immigration in the UK, legal or illegal, or even these fake asylum seekers. I probably think this guy, who's calling himself a migrant, probably came in there on a boat, on a dinghy. You know, people like you are not welcome. What do you mean? This is your country. This is a white country. You're not white. You don't sound white. I'm not white. I'm an immigrant. I'll always be an immigrant into this country for the rest of my life. Just because you've given a British nationality because you're an asylum seeker, you're nothing but a traitor to the country, you think you should be in it. If it was people like me, look at me, I'm brown. I live in Saudi Arabia for 28 years of my life. If I had any say in the type of people who stay in the country, believe me, you, migrant, will be the first one out of this country. I don't care how long you live here. I don't care even if you're born in this country. If you're going to come up here, tell a white person, oh, it is our country, we're going to take. You're not white. You're not from this country. And I will tell you what, you can shut the hell up and get out.
You shut up. You shut up.
That's all you can say, literally. That's
I'm
all
gonna-
you can
I'm
say.
gonna-
Migrants.
Hold on, I'm going to make.
This is our country now, my friend.
This is
Shut
not
up,
your
you absolute
country.
walloper.
Yes, it
Guys,
is.
guys,
You
guys,
can't
guys,
do anything.
guys, can you all just shut up? Can we all just shut up? Just for 30 seconds, right? I'm going to make a claim here, because this migrant, as he says to himself, as he claims that he is, has made a wild claim and accusation about me and can't substantiate it, which is verging on a criminal thing to do, to say something about somebody that you can't substantiate. I'm going to make a claim about him. Oh, he's disappeared. And I didn't kick him. My hands are here. Nobody else has the right ability to kick him. He's left in his own accord. I kind of think he's at it. He's not a migrant. He's just into cause bother. And he was trying to reel you in there, Denzel, to getting you to
Oh,
get
man.
lippy. So,
See, when I hear that statement, this is your country. No, it's no. And I'll tell you right
that guy's
now.
not. Let me tell you something. That guy's not a foreigner. That guy's not a migrant.
I get that, mate, but you hear that phrase all too often, right? These people in spaces, you see it on YouTube, you see it on TikTok, you hear these people saying we're here to take over. I can tell you right now, hand on heart, you've no chance of taking this country off us. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. And
right.
It infuriates me.
So, English Casuals, a breeder part, Graham McRobert says, good to hear from you, mate. And he's talking to Shoaib. So how are you, my man? I've had a few messages from back and forward on WhatsApp, but I've not actually physically spoke to you for a while. How's life?
Oh, yeah, life's okay. I'm just busy waiting for the Home Office to get back to me. Other than that, everything is fine. I was watching your show. I usually watch your show almost all the time, and I've seen this guy just come up, and I was like, oh my God. I was literally on the comment section, and I was asking you something, and it was to do with the kilt. Like, I'm sure a lot of people here know that I'm an immigrant. And because, see, I lived in Saudi Arabia for almost 28 years. My father is still living in Saudi Arabia for almost 50 years. And what it was with my father, he's still in Saudi Arabia and he's an immigrant. And the thing is, he's very happy being an immigrant. For me, if I hear, like, I don't know who's that. Is that Kevin on the top? Because I know the voice.
He's now called Denzel because he was.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Shoaib, right? Listen, Shoaib, didn't give him any ammunition on this. That was his girlfriend that done this to me.
I know the voice. I know the voice very well. I hear it all the time, so I know it was him. So I think what he says as well, Kevin is right when people are saying, and before even Kevin said, someone like me, when I hear people from my own community, just because they were born here, they've got literally nothing to do with the British values, the culture, and everything else that is so good about the UK, and then they want to stand there and say, "Oh, it's our country," and I said, "No, it's not. It's not. You're a guest here, like I am a guest here. If the British people were to tell me tomorrow that we think, even though you've been a good citizen in the country, you've done nothing, but we would like you to leave because we want our country back, and this is how we're going to get it," I'll be the first one to go. But obviously, I don't want these brown Muslims telling me, "Oh, they want me to go." Right? Obviously, I'm not going to listen to them. But if it was the people of the UK, and I'm talking about the white people, the British, the Welsh, the English, the Irish, the Scottish, if you guys were to say, "Oh, you know what, you have to leave, and that is how we're going to make the country great," well, I will go. The same thing with my father. Like I said, he's been there 50 years in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is very clear. When we want you to leave, you have to leave. You can't tell them, "Oh, we've been here 50 years, so all of a sudden I became an Arab, I became a Saudi," and all this. It doesn't work. My brother and sister, they were all born in Saudi Arabia. They do not call themselves Arabs. We do not call ourselves Arabs or Saudis. We know we are Pakistanis. We were just born there, and we were given opportunities the same way I've given a lot of opportunities in the UK, and I'm very much thankful and grateful for that. And that's it. Oh, I didn't like that guy saying, "Oh, you know what, calling you a racist." Craig, come on, man. What an idiot.
Listen, it's just, I don't know if you've seen the speech I done up in Peterhead show, but I said at the start of it, I was totally gobsmacked that there was people here kind of protesting, and offered, I said, if any of you want to come up at the end and explain why you're here, feel free. I don't mind a debate with people, but what I'll not do is have people, if that guy wanted to sit and talk about the immigration policy in the United Kingdom for an hour, I'd have done it, right? But he didn't. He wanted to come up and say, "I'm a racist." That's fine. If that's your opinion, back it up. And like the woman that came up on the stage, she says, "Are people like you standing here slaughtering immigrants?" I was like, I actually told the story about Baraka, who was an asylum seeker, who came to the country and now lives in Manchester. He came to the country 14 years, when he was 14 years old, after spending 14 years in an asylum camp in Africa, doing it the right way and waiting to come to the country. And he had to flee the Congo because of the civil war. He was born in the camp, spent 14 years, his family were there for 17 years, right? So everybody that comes in a boat and jumps the queue means people like Baraka are left in these camps for a lot of years. And that can't be right. Because if we are able to provide safe asylum for people who genuinely could do with being in a safer environment, then why would we just keep coming in the boats? That's fine. Just keep coming in planes and telling us you're here as a visitor and not going home, because that just puts the people who we should be helping, if we've got room to help, back further in the queue. And that can't be right.
Yeah.
But she obviously didn't listen to that. She was just adamant, "I'm a racist," and she couldn't substantiate.
He was an idiot. And you know what? And another thing is, Craig, I almost pay around, well, I used to pay £4,800 towards the Home Office every 2 years to get my visa extension. Now it's gone up to almost £7,000 that I paid this year. And this is literally, and when I see these illegals, these fake asylum seekers just turning up to the boat, I think I understand. Obviously, I don't understand fully, but I understand the 10% of how you guys feel, because this is your country and you get absolutely nothing. I'm paying to be here because I want to be here. And a lot of people would say, if you don't like the country, why don't you go somewhere else and pay that money and be in that country? And they're absolutely right. But the thing is, I love this country. I've got my education from this country. And I also have been working here since 2018. I've only recently lost my job. And that was because they've labeled me a racist in Swansea, where I live now in Wales. And I can't even get a job here. And I know you know that, Craig, that I got arrested. I got visited by the Prevent Police. And then I got arrested by the police, the actual police, literally the next day. And then when I got arrested, the only question they were asking me is the question that people were saying to you, that, "Oh, you're racist because you only talk about the Pakistani rapist gangs." And that's what I did as well. The police came to me and they said to me, "Why is it that you always talk about, you want to talk about the Pakistani rapist gang, you want to talk about closing down the mosques, closing down the Islamic schools in the UK?" I said, "Yes, if I'm not going to talk about it, who will? Because I am a Pakistani and I need to say it is in my community. It is a part of the culture and the religion. And if I am not going to come out and say, not in my name, who else is doing it?" So that guy, he was a white police officer, and he kept saying to me, "Oh, but why? Why did you say?" I said, "Do you know that I personally went to a religious school from the age of 11 till the age of 16? And I was constantly, and I'm talking about 5 days a week, from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. I was sexually harassed, literally, for 4 years of my life. And if they think I can't talk about it, who else is going to talk about it? But it's the same thing that they do to the white British girls and the women and the ladies. They're saying, "Oh, you dare say that you got sexually assaulted or harassed by these Pakistani men because you're racist." And you know what? And I got arrested for being a racist towards my own community. I'm still under investigation right now. I'm on something. It's called pre-charge bail. I've never heard of it, by the way. Been here 10 years, right? Never had any run-in with the police, but unfortunately now they've got my phone. They've given me an email saying that they are in my X account. God knows what they're downloading, but they've got everything. So, it's crazy, man. But yeah, like I said, Craig, and I hope, I'm sure Kevin might have heard me in a lot of other spaces, but I am usually 100% ready to come on to defend, people like you, Craig. There are a lot of other people that I've defended. Tommy Robinson is also one of them that I've defended day in, day out. And I do it. And obviously I've lost my livelihood. I've come to a point where I had to do a GoFundMe to even get my fees. And, I'm the guy who used to be on 60, 70K per annum previously. But unfortunately, this is the place where we are. And if there aren't people like me, or I am coming out to say, you know what, no, Craig is not a racist. There are other people that are not racist. Just because you guys are white, it's very easy for someone to come out and say, oh, you know what, Craig is a racist. That is the end of conversation. But when you come to me and call me a racist, which they have called me a racist, a Nazi and everything, I don't know if anybody have seen a brown Nazi before. You've seen it now today. But that's what they've called me. And they've said me all these things. And when I said to them that, you can't really do that anymore. There was a time when you call someone a racist, that was the end of conversation. You can't do that with me because I am here as a Pakistani and I am telling you that, you cannot do that. But they were like, you know what, this is what it is. And yeah, it is true. I'm still waiting for literally another bail date that I need to turn up to the police station. Same nonsense has been going on since January, man. It's crazy. But thank you very much for having me, right?
I appreciate you coming on, mate, and I appreciate you coming on to back me up.
I just came, man. You know what? I'm not gonna. This is it. I am done. Literally, before I was being, because I get death threats. Craig, I get death threats literally every single day. Like, I know you can see in the comment section now, people saying, and this is a Muslim guy as well. This Jawad Habib. That's a very much a Pakistani name, and he's going around saying, "Oh, Paki, this and that." It's fine. It is these guys who say it, and I laugh on that. For me, I do not give a damn about these things. But unfortunately, man, I've come to a point where I'm not being careful. I'm more angry now, and that's why I came on. And I think you got a WhatsApp message, and I said, "Let me on." That was me messaging you.
You're welcome here any day, and that's a bit
Thank you, man. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody. Cheers, man.
So you come back anytime, buddy, and keep us informed how you're going on, and hopefully I'll touch base with you again. I'll maybe meet you for the second time ever, and it's probably going to be in the same place as I met you the last time, standing outside Downing Street at a protest.
Well, you'll see me in a kilt. Okay, before I go, can I ask you, because you're Scottish, you would know this. Is it true that the kilt is only for the Scottish and not the Welsh? I just want to make sure, because I'll be wearing a kilt with a C, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's been times where parts of Ireland wore kilts, particularly the North Island. I think there's historical things in parts of Wales at some point way back anyway. So it's not just us. And it's like most things, even the bagpipes. You know where the bagpipes originated from?
Yeah, I know bagpipes. Yeah. But I don't know how to play them.
You're part of the world, right? We kind of adopted them. So,
and like I said, when I was wearing that Welsh kilt, because I went on to try it, because my wife, she's Welsh, and she is white Welsh from the valleys who speak fluent Welsh as well. So she told me, kilt, because I made a kilt with a K, but she said in Welsh alphabet you don't have a K, you have a C. So I was like, I do speak a little bit of Welsh as well, but I wasn't aware of they don't have a K in their alphabets. But yeah, so my wife seen it and she was like, it's good, you should wear it. But it's not me saying I'm Welsh. I don't even call myself British, man. I call myself a Pakistani immigrant who love the country, and that's it.
I think the reason the Welsh don't use the K is simple. They quite like vowels, right? They use vowels more than anybody else if you look at the names of them. And if they thought, right, okay, well, there's more consonants than vowels, so if we just take the odd consonant out of language, it means we'll get more space for vowels, right? The Welsh will get far too many of them. Well, what I've got, he's just disappeared. I was just about to bring him up. There was a guy in the green room there for ages, patiently waiting for Shoaib to shut up and take a breath, and he's disappeared. So I do apologise, but I was just about to click to bring you in.
Can I just say something before Shoaib? Craig, can I just quickly say something to Shoaib before he goes?
course you can.
See,
Long as it's
before
not
he goes
racist,
to
yeah.
up, stand up and take a bowser. That's all I'm going to say. You're a good man. I listen to you in a lot of spaces. I've seen you with Craig, and thank you very much for taking that bow. Because I tell you what you just said there is absolutely bang on the money. And see, the thing is, you come to this country. You come to this country with the correct documents, right? This is the thing that people are not getting. We're objecting to people that are throwing their documents into the water and coming here unidentified. And if that makes us a racist because we're concerned about that, then so what? Do you know what? I'll take that title all day long. But honestly, I applaud you for doing what you've done there, and good on you. So I appreciate you coming up doing that as well, mate. You're a good guy. You really are.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. I'm just going to take my leave, and I'll see you guys soon.
Right. Kevin, I'm just going to bring somebody else up who's got the title Ahmed and then in brackets illegal. So this might be a short one, and just stay calm. Ahmed, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah. What are you going to do then?
Sorry? Well, we're having a phone-in show, and what you do is you phone in, you say, Houston, we have a problem, and you tell us what your problems are. So
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
All right, no problem.
I'm not saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's our country now.
Why are you on this show? Like,
Wait a minute, shut up. It's
our country now.
What are you here to say? Is that all you want to say, Ahmed?
Yeah, it's our country now.
Okay, great. Do you know by now? Right.
Oh!
They're all coming in now.
I think they're just coming in not to annoy you, Craig.
Just keep coming, you know what I mean? What more can you say? Anyway.
Well, I gotta go. My food is waiting for me. I was having my food. I was watching it on my phone, so I just thought I'd come in just to do this.
You have a good one, mate, and thanks very much for coming.
Thank you.
And
Good
if I
night,
don't
guys.
see you before,
See you later.
See you later, buddy. Right, guys, I'm going to take a wee 50-second comfort break, and I'll put a wee video on just for those who don't know what the show's all about, telling them what to do. So we'll be back in 56 seconds. Hi there, welcome to a new concept for the channel where you, the viewer, gets to come onto the show and tell me, Houston, we have a problem. I want to hear from you, your community, and the issues you have with the United Kingdom currently. And the only thing I ask you to do is start the conversation with, Houston, we have a problem. When you see the description on YouTube, all you have to do is scroll down the description, click on that link, it'll bring you straight into the studio. From there, I'll invite you up, and you start the conversation with Houston, we have a problem. And we'll see what we can do to help you, your community, and your problems going forward. You never know, it might be my next journey, planting bread to the UK, to come to your community and cover your issues. So get live, get involved. Houston, we have a problem. Right, so we have Papa Tango. He's wanting to speak about that Podger Sturgeon and discuss. Crack on, mate. Click the link, as you've seen in the wee short video there, and get yourself in, and we'll make you welcome. So anyway, DJR, are you enjoying this new experience for you?
Well, it was funny because I've actually had one of the famous cards made up myself, calling myself a racist for filming what I do. So I've been exposed on one of the Aberdeen pages saying that I'm a far-right racist for literally standing there with a camera. And I was literally like, I literally turn up to record, you know, it's not a far-right thing, it's nothing like that at all, but I said to him exactly in the comments, find it or quote something from one of my videos, you know, and I leave everything unedited, so there's plenty to go through. And as soon as I asked where's the evidence, he just blocked me from the page, and you know, I was suddenly gone from the page straight away. So it's just a easy word to throw around, I think, now, and it's just it's disgusting, really, because I've got so many friends from different cultures, you know, different races, and it's like it's not a racist bone in my body at all, and it's like it's a disgusting word to throw around, because it's like the people I've interacted with, you know, it's nothing about that at all.
No, it's to try and stop debate and stop the argument. Just he's a racist, and that's it. You're meant to be silent after that. But that comment there, welcome to club, mate. That's Stevie for Peterhead. So if you don't know who that is, you know,
Stevie for Peterhead.
He's the guy that arranged the protest. He must be the most racist out of the lot of this. It's just bonkers. So, Kev, what's been your highlight of the phone-in tonight?
Mr. Schwab coming up and putting that boy in his place. That's exactly what the highlight of that one is. I mean, look, although they're trolls, right, and they're coming up and they're saying that this is our country now, right, we get that these are absolute rockets, right, that are coming in, complete balloons. But the fact of the matter is there are people out there that actually believe that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And this is the problem we've got. And it's our government that's allowing these people to come here and just say what they want. I mean, there was a guy for Peterhead has been served a citation to turn up at Aberdeen Sheriff Court on August the 27th and he's been told not to attend any further protests. Just
I know what you're on about.
And
I've got
that's
somebody in the room waiting to come up, and their moniker is something, I can't read it all because there's too many letters in it and I can only see so many, and it says borders are man-made, I believe, so this could be interesting. So, mate, the rules are come up, say, Houston, we have a problem, tell us what your problem is, and we'll have a wee chat about it. The stage is yours.
Houston, we have a problem, mate, and it's the borders are man-made. Borders are man-made, mate. You can't do nothing to stop the illegal immigrants, mate.
Right. Okay. Well, they might be man-made.
So why do you do these last? Why do you do these last ones for, mate?
I best give you a wee sort of quick lesson in how this works. You say something, somebody else speaks. Once they stop, you get to speak again. Is that okay? Is that?
Don't talk to me like that, mate. Don't get cheeky with me, mate.
Right. Okay.
Borders are man-made. They're made up. Borders don't exist.
Right, so here's me coming back to you then, right? So you what you need to do now is you be a bit quiet and I get to say what I want to say. So borders are man-made is a claim. So how do you tell me the United Kingdom is an island, right? Or part of it, Great Britain is an island. Is that man-made? Did somebody evict?
Yeah, somebody made it up, mate. Somebody gave it labels. Don't really exist, mate.
Right, so we're now moving away from the borders and we're just giving countries labels is now man-made. Right, okay. So if that is true,
why do you do these live streams for, mate?
Sorry?
Why do you do these live streams for, mate? Don't do anything.
Why am I doing live streams?
Yeah, you don't achieve anything with it, mate.
So why are you here?
Because I'm here to tell you that borders don't exist, mate. They only exist in your mind.
That's fine. That's great. That's your opinion. That's a great opinion. Thank you very much.
True, mate. People gave it labels, mate. You don't exist.
No
Scotland doesn't exist, mate.
Borders don't exist and men gave them labels. Have you anything else to add?
Yeah, why do you do these live streams for, me?
I told you because people enjoy them and they get to come in and tell us what they're not happy with, just like you're doing just now. So is it, you get anything else to add?
You're a joke.
You get anything else to add?
Yeah, you're a joke.
Great. Your opinions were cut. Have you got anything else constructive to add?
No, just why do you do these live?
I told you.
You know, it's a joke.
Have you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, why are you so obsessed with foreigners, man?
Why am I obsessed with what?
Foreigners, man.
Foreigners?
So obsessed with people that, yeah.
So is that no man-made though? Is that not just a sort of crazy thing to think of?
Go away, mate. Honestly, get a life.
Sorry? I have to go away. It's kind of my show. I can't go away. You didn't need to do that.
What an absolute zoomer.
Honestly,
what is it? There must be sun in the water tonight.
There is. There'll be some chat.
Is it Halloween or something?
Aye. There'll be some chat board somewhere, and they'll be like, "Oh, that Houston, that bigoted racist guy is having a chat show, and you can go up and tell him anything you want. Let's go." So that's 3. Let's see if we can make it 4 before 10 o'clock. That would be good. Anyway, there's a guy, back to sensible things. Oh, don't like that. Somebody was wanting to talk about Nicola Sturgeon. Well, pop in, click the link, come up, tell us anything you want to know about, or anything you want to tell us about Nicola Sturgeon. Ask questions about Nicola Sturgeon. Do what you want. Papa Tango keeps mentioning that he wants to say stuff, so jump in. The link's there. If you're on YouTube. So if you go into YouTube, on the description, there's a link. click it, come into the green room. I get a wee ping in my ear to tell me you're here. I'll invite you up, tell us we've got a problem, tell us what your problems are, what you want to get off your chest, and we can crack on. So, what's next for you, DJR?
Saturday, the event going on again. We've got John Carr. He's coming down to do a speech. Ex veteran Army Commando. Yeah, he's quite a big figure. Been on quite a few news channels about his story, so he wants to do a speech down there.
He's not the guy that got almost, I don't know if he's been kicked out or not. Was he the guy that spoke out about the Marine guy?
Yeah.
That same guy that spoke about the things that were going on in the Marines and how it was actually making it dangerous with all the DEI stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly who that is. Yeah.
Brilliant, that very interesting. Hopefully you get good jam. I enjoy watching that. I did see a video his brother had put out when it went when that was first put in public, and I thought,
well, he has. Oh, sorry. He has actually just started his own YouTube channel as well, because he wants to start making the videos about his situation.
Is this the Marine or the brother?
The Marine, yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
He's just started up recently.
Do you know the name of his channel?
Silence Command. Going to be what Stephen Rennie's saying.
What, sorry?
Silence Commando.
Silenced Commando. Let's have a wee look here.
You see the
channel.
John Carr, British Uprising.
John Carr.
British Uprising.
C-A-R-R.
Aye, C-A-R-R.
I'm getting that here. This is crazy. I'm trying to find this and give him a wee bit of a shout out and can you find it? John Carr. Oh, here we go. John Carr, British Uprising. Got it. 41 subscribers and 2 videos. Let's do us a favour, right? Let's help John Carr, the ex-commando, by doubling his subscribers before we go off air. He's got 41 subscribers just now. Give him a wee second. Share screen. And it's that one. Share. So has that popped up on the screen yet? Yeah, there it's there. So there he's there at John Carr BU for British Uprising. And as you'll see here, he's got 2 videos out so far and 41 subscribers. So let's help this brave young patriot a boost, and let's see if we can get his subscribers up to 82 before we finish. And I'll keep going back to check up on it. So if you're in the room, and there's hundreds of you in the room, you're on YouTube now, go and do that. And he's doing that's terrible. He's 2 videos. One's had 17 views and one's had 19 views. Let's go and support this young guy, because that's a boy that does deserve our support. Okay, so I'm going to just can I copy and paste that? Can I put that?
I'll need to wait till after the show so I can go and do it, because I'm on my phone doing this with you. And if I go and try and do it now, it'll cut me off. Which I suppose
I've popped his link to his YouTube into the comments, so you will be able to see it there as well.
Is you on it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. If you give me a wee second, I'll go into this live and I'll go into the description. And in the description, right at the top, I will put his. Oh.
He's on X as well, can't he, Stevie?
Right, I've now amended the description of this one and it's right at the top. So do us a favour, folks, let's just go in here and see how many are helping. Now he was at 41. I'll just refresh that. I don't know if this will update live anyway. I don't know if you subscribe, it will show up immediately. But he's at 70 subscribers already. Well done, people. I love it. Well, honest to God, Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? What was his target? The target was to get him to 80 odd before we went off here. I think we'll get him to 80 odd within the next 3 minutes.
Oh, I think
People,
before that,
he's
surely.
a fantastic. Honest to goodness, 76 he's at now. He's absolutely outstanding, and obviously this is updating quicker than I thought it might. I've just had a peep to tell me there's somebody came in. 80, he's at 79. 2 more, sorry, what did I say? 3 more, and we'll hit our target in about 2 minutes, guys. And we've got somebody wanting to come in to the room to talk. So we'll
That's
bring
it,
them in
82
just
now.
a second. Oh, well done, guys. That's outstanding, isn't it? We doubled his subscribers in what? 3 minutes?
I hope
Mate,
he's
you
not
need
got
to
his
tell him the effort
notifications
you're
on.
putting in. You need to tell him. You need to let this man know what you're doing for him to pay him back for what he's done for us. Now, we've got 2 people in the green room. We have got Captain East End and Proud American. Now, Captain East End was in earlier, and I tried to bring him up, and when I went back, he disappeared. I think he'd been waiting too long, so I do apologise. So I'm going to bring him in first, and then we'll go to Proud American. So, Captain East End,
Houston, we have a problem.
and then we'll
Houston,
go
we have a
to
problem.
Proud American. So, thank you, Captain. Hold on a wee second. You've got us playing in the background as well. I'm going to need to mute you a wee second, Captain East End. You've got us playing in the background, so when you've got your mic open, we're hearing what I said 10 seconds ago. So could you just come out the app that you're listening to the show in just now, just so we don't get that again, or we'll not be able to hear you? So could you just come out the app and listen to the show in just now, just so we don't get that again, or we'll not be able to hear you? Have you been able to sort it, buddy?
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Is that working?
Right. Have you been able to sort it, buddy? No. Whatever it is you're listening to is on. Whatever it is you're listening to is on, you'll need to turn it off, because if you're listening to your phone and you're talking in your phone, then that's kind of what's going on. So I'll put you back down just for a wee second. We'll bring Captain America up, and hopefully we can get you sorted. So, sorry, Proud American. Proud American, the floor's yours.
Hey man, how are you?
Very well. Yourself?
Yes, I'm good, man. I'm a country boy, and I just don't like the way you treat these fire.
Okay, I don't think he was Proud American, and there we go.
What happened there?
He doesn't like the way we're dealing with these foreigners, so it was a on voice. There's no way he was American. There's no way he was for the South. He was saying he was a Southern boy and all that. So let's try again to get Captain East End. So let's try again. Hi, Captain. Captain, it's not happening. You'll need to just don't come out of YouTube, whatever you're doing, and then come back. We can't hear you. So, Captain, I'm going to kick you out the now. Turn off whatever it is you're watching us on, and then let us know when you're back in, and we'll get you back up. Right, guys, it's all fun and games tonight, isn't it?
It's been a bit of a lie. As somebody said in the thread as well, though, you can. That's what you when you know when you're starting to get under their skin, because the trolls start to appear. Do you know what I mean? So obviously you're doing something right, because if these people take the time to try and make up profiles and etc. to come in and disrupt you or troll you, then it goes to show you you're getting absolutely right underneath their skin. So, good on you, big. Do you know what I mean?
95 subscribers there, John Carr, British Uprisings. That folk, these are tremendous. That what was that? 40. So we've been up about 50 odd in the space of 5 minutes, and there's hundreds of you watching. So it's some effort. Do you know what I mean? There's somebody's put in. I agree with this, by the way. Denzel's a troll.
Denzel's. I know who Bumpy is, Tay, so didn't I listen to him?
6 more for 100. Martian's saying it's at 95. Let's have a week. This is cracking wee game, isn't it? We should do this every night. We should sponsor a person who's new to YouTube. In fact, and just go get them followed, right? Right. So somebody else came into the room. We've got Old Timer. Now, I hope Old Timer is genuine, or he'll get back quick. So let's hear it from you, Old Timer.
You hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I'm an older man. I apologize about this. Can you tell me what your goal is in life?
What, sorry?
Sorry,
Is
can
that
you
what your
hear me?
goal is, something?
What the goal is in life?
What's my goal?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. What's your goal in life?
My goal would be to leave the country in a better place for the next generation, and we inherited it from the last generation. What's yours?
I want world peace, and that means being nice to outsiders.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I don't support people that are nasty to other people.
Right. And the other day, mate, I think we should all really get on. That would be great. And the people that are here need to get on with each other a bit better than we do. And the people that come here need to join that game as well and try to be nice to the people already here. That would be fantastic.
That includes outsiders.
Yeah. Thanks very much for your point, old timer. Right, so we've got somebody who's very brave, who they've actually put their camera on, and it's retired and reflective. I love that name. So retired and reflective, I kind of think you're a real genuine person. So if you just bump up, I'm going to give you the floor and just tell us who's going to have a problem and tell us what your problem is. Oh, you're on mute, mate. You're muted, mate. Retired and reflective. If nobody can hear you, you've got your mute on. Yours, that's it. It's clicked off now. The floor's yours, buddy.
Hiya, Houston. I've got a problem, and
Go on.
it's just the diabolical state that we find Scotland in with its lack of governance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think the biggest problem we've got with lack of governance? What is it?
Well, my particular gripe is around education.
Okay.
Scotland profess to have the best education anywhere, and sadly, this government have allowed it to deteriorate to the point where nothing's of any importance. Children are being let down by lack of provision in schools, special needs being cut. It's and I would understand that some of this is also happening across the UK, but when money's been spent on other Cinderella projects, it just seems wrong that children's futures are being ruined. You know, I would love to think that any Scottish government would prioritise something, and education is one of those things that should prioritise, and not just limp along. So I think there could be far more creative with funding, but overall, I'm terribly disappointed by education, and I think anybody can list all the things that are wrong, but that's my particular gripe, Craig.
No, I think, and if you remember, Nicola Sturgeon's war cry for a long time was "Judge me on education."
Yeah.
And my answer to her is, okay, then you failed, because education in Scotland was of a very high level not that long ago, and it was well known for its education, the quality of its education. And one of the stories that I remember from my youth was one of my mum's old pals. My mum was a nurse, and she had an old pal who came up to visit us. She was Scottish, but she was living down south at that point, and she was home on holiday visiting her parents, etc. And she came along to our house. I'd never met this woman before, and she started telling us these fantastic stories about her job. And her job was, you know, remember the people that used to run the Miss World contest? I can't remember their name, but they owned one of the pools companies as well. They were fabulously rich, and they needed a full-time nurse for one of their families. I think one of their children didn't keep particularly good health. So she got the job to look after these people on a personal basis. And they specifically asked at that time for a Scottish educated nurse, because they felt the Moores, was that right? The Moore family from memory. And they felt that that would give their I'm sure it was a child, I may be wrong with that small detail, but they would give their relative the best care they could. Now, that's when I was a child, and that would have been about 40 years ago, maybe 45 years. And 45 years later, we have an education system that's terrible, it's broken. And as we heard from the man that was on earlier on who works in education, the curriculum is getting tarnished. The things that they're getting people to do, projects, etc., is ridiculous. And now we've got a system in Scotland whereby if you are from not even a upper class family, but from middle class family upwards who could afford to pay for further education, it's made most difficult for you to get a better education. And if you don't qualify through the postcode lottery that is a free place in a Scottish university, you do not have the ability, even if you're clever enough, to pay for one. Because the SNP told us that everybody is to get a free higher education in Scotland. Now, you've always been able to get a free higher education in Scotland. When I was a child, if you couldn't afford the education, there was a bursary system there. They replaced that by giving everybody a free place. But when you give everybody a free place, you obviously have budgetary constraints on that, and you have to max out the amount of free places you can give, or you would bankrupt the country. So what happens now is if you're from a deprived area or a suggested deprived area, you actually can go to university with a lower grade than someone who's not in a deprived area. So you could have a child in one area who gets lower scores, is given a free place, and the other person who's from not a deprived area, who attained the grades possible, does not have the ability that foreign students have, and that is being allowed to pay for their education. So what happens now is this whole process is actually depriving Scottish children of a higher education, which is totally bonkers. If we had what we'd had originally, and that was a bursary system where those who couldn't afford could still apply, and we put the money into that and allowed those who could afford and still attain the same grades, we would have more Scottish kids at universities getting a better education. But they've actually screwed that up as well. So not only do they bugger about with what we teach kids in primary school and at high school, and they're responsible for the quality of that, which is terrible, we're now restricting the amount of Scottish kids we have going to Scottish universities. And it's totally bonkers. It doesn't make any sense. But that is probably because the SNP don't make sense, retired. So, anything you want to come back on that, mate? You're on mute again, mate. You're on mute. You need to unmute your mic.
There we go. Yeah, I agree entirely. I think that higher education is principally been funded by foreign students, and Alex Salmond set out to achieve that, to create an opportunity for all Scottish students to go to university on the back of foreign students paying probably twice or three times the fees. Now, that gravy train's stopped rolling because of COVID and the way students were treated at that time. And I think, students had a raw deal during COVID, particularly in England, where they were corralled into their halls of residence and treated like caged animals. And so that whole thing's dried up, and I think the SNP are very clever in trying to extract funding from anywhere if it's going to come into Scotland. But the use of that funding's just reckless, They've been like pirates, they've been like taking an aggressive stance all the time about funding, and all the time it's Westminster's problem. I'm sorry, this isn't Westminster's problem.
No,
this is lack of leadership and governance.
Yeah, I mean, my take on it is, and this is what I want to get voted in on when the elections come up for Holyrood in May 2026, is to say to everybody in that building, let's shut up for one term about independence and let's try and fix Scotland. And let's take the boot off devolved powers and don't abuse it. So don't use it, sorry. Abuse it. Wring every single power out of that to try and make Scotland a better place. And I guarantee you won't fail if you do that. But they don't. They want to have this blame culture all the time. Now, if we went through a 5 or a 10-year cycle of wringing it dry, genuinely wringing it dry, every power out of the devolved powers that we've got, and we still couldn't make Scotland better, then that would be a great advert to abolish Holyrood. Because then you could see this just doesn't work, right? So let's do that. And let's give it possibly 2 terms where we just wring it dry. And if it still fails and we have genuinely tried, then let's just abolish it because it's not working. We don't need it. And the people who should be calling to abolish Holyrood should actually be the separatists, not the unionists. That should be the separatists' job. Because if they think it's not worth the paper it's written on, it's got no powers to deal with anything that we keep hearing about, then put it in the bin. But it does have the powers to make a difference because we have all the powers we need to make a difference in health and education. And they say, "Oh, we don't have legislative powers over power and energy, for example." Well, excuse me, but was it a week or 2 ago or a fortnight ago, the SNP were telling us how wonderful they were because they've given out they've passed legislation to allow another offshore wind farm. How can you do that if you don't have the powers? It's total bollocks. Let's use the powers, let's abuse the powers, let's make Scotland better, and let's shut up about things that don't matter. See the things that are not devolved. Now, the biggest court in the land have told us that Holyrood will not decide if we have another referendum or not, right? So you can't actually deal with that. You can't deal with Palestine, Gaza, Israel, or anything in the West Bank. So let's not even talk about nonsense like that. The Supreme Court have told us a man's a man and a woman's a woman. And within a week, we were having an emergency debate in Holyrood about where transgender people should go for a pee. Right? That's how bonkers that place is just now. Let's put all that nonsense to the side. Stuff that we can't deal with. Let's deal with the stuff we can. And I was taught a wonderful thing. And I don't care if you have addiction problems or if you are Christian or not. I get taught a prayer that people with addictions are taught by 2 friends of mine who had issues. And that was, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the strength to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And we should put that into Holyrood and say, see the stuff we can deal with, let's deal with it. See the stuff we can, put it to the side. And that's why I want to be put into Holyrood, and I'll hold them accountable and try and get everybody in the place to be held accountable. And anytime we take up on the podium and talk nonsense about stuff that building can't deal with, then I'll press the big red button. Point of order, madam, not speaker. What do we have? Presiding officer. Presiding officer, yeah, point of order. Yeah, you're talking about shite we can't talk about in here. Can we just move on, please? Can we get the important things on the table, like our education, our health, our big drug problem, our lack of housing? We've just come to the national housing crisis less than a year ago. So can we deal with that? Not nonsense about Gaza. Gaza's terrible, horrible thing. Don't like wars, right? Can I do anything about them? No. Okay, what can we deal with? Next. And that's the way I deal with them for 5 years, buddy. But listen, thanks very much for coming up.
Brilliant. Well, I've been following you a lot, and I do include you in quite a few things that I don't like, just to keep you in the loop anyway.
No, appreciate it.
You've met me, and keep up the good work, and I wish you all the best. All right.
No problem. Will you please don't be a stranger. Next time you see a live, come up, because your lots of wisdom are appreciated. So I've got one wee problem. I've got Based Patriot waiting to come up, but when I try to bring them up, it says they will need to connect their mic and or cam before you can add them to the stream. So if you could sort that out, please, Based Patriot, and we'll get you straight in. We've also been joined by Stephen Rennie, the racist. How are you, Stephen Rennie, the racist?
Aye, I've heard that term a lot lately. Aye, we're good. Like just back for a meeting, a follow-up, just discussing how the protest went. So, aye,
How'd that go?
Well, they've said right now we hold the record for the best organised and behaved demonstration in Scotland. So, I'm happy with it.
Well, to be fair, I was there at the end of it, and people were saying that some of the what do you call it, the police were saying that while we were there. That's fantastic. So with the liaison officer and stuff for the police at the meeting?
It was well, it was only us and the liaison meeting, the liaison officer, and we were also issued an apology for the head of the counter protest. No,
way.
She was actually told to leave the Aberdeen protest.
Right,
So-
stop.
Oh, wow.
You just told us that you received an apology from the counter protesters.
The head of the counter protesters. So
Right.
the guy that organised it, I didn't understand. I told him, I says, I'm confused. Why are they trying to communicate with us? And they set their counter protester guys a time limit. They were obviously once the head guy wasn't happy with them going over it, they were told, we were agreed, this is my counter protest. You don't speak over the top of the guys on the other side. The guy with the siren as well. After they were told to stop, a little bit of an argument started amongst themselves where a handful of them, there was only two handfuls of them there anyway, but one handful of them was told to leave, and they wouldn't be getting back to take part in any counter protests arranged by the guy that arranged the Peterhead one.
Brilliant. So how did this apology? How was it delivered to you in person or an email?
No, it was passed over to the liaison officer.
Via the police liaison?
Aye.
To be
They were
fair,
in a meeting earlier on.
fair play to the guy.
I told him, I was like, I'm kind of confused here as to why they want to apologise and why they want to communicate with us, because they're against everything we stand for, apparently. So, apart from Kate, it was only against white men.
Aye. So, talking about Kate, for those who have not seen the videos or weren't at the protest, during my speech at the start of it, I gave them it stinking. Kev thoroughly enjoyed the start of my speech. I started by talking to the people at the back over there at the counter protest and asked them to have a good look at themselves, because they're counter protesting local people who have got concerns with care homes being closed, the level of education, safety of children, general things that most people in the UK are concerned about, and asked them if any of them wanted to come up and explain why they were at that protest. Then I'd give them the last 2 minutes of my mic time, and one of them did. And she made a complete arse of herself because she couldn't do it. She told us she agreed on everything apart from, and I was like, well, why are you here then? Because you just need to stop being bad to migrants. But couldn't tell us any more than that. So basically, she didn't like it because I'm a racist, and anybody that spoke it is racist. So that she showed herself up. Now, while I was doing that, Stevie was running behind me going nuts, right? Because the cops weren't too pleased with this, because they absolutely chatted and they went, oh no, this lunatic's going to cause a riot here. Bring it up from the left. They're going to get booed off the stage and it could get a bit tasty. You then told me once it was all finished, and I went and spoke to the liaison and says, look, mate, I'm really sorry. Stephen didn't know I was doing that. I done it off the cuff. So don't feel bad about him. Blah, blah. And the guy was great. Was there any more talk about that at your follow-up meeting, or was that soppy?
No, he actually said that he understands why you brought her up. He didn't appreciate it, but he said he understood why, and he was glad that we cut her off when we did. So
it done its best. Now, Base Patriot is now, I can now talk to him because he's joined his mic. So I'm going to bring him up just now, Stephen. I'll come back to you in a minute. So Base Patriot,
no problem.
Thanks for calling in. Take the floor. Tell us who's to have a problem, and we'll see what your problem is. The floor is yours. Hello, Base Patriot. You there, buddy? It took you a while to get your stuff sorted. But you're in now, buddy. Can you hear me?
My mic to work, but hopefully you can hear me now.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, but
Yeah.
kick
All
him.
that effort. Now, you're meant to be the guy, right, that helps me with IT stuff and all that,
Nah,
right?
right. Don't dox me. Don't dox my incompetence, right?
You're getting it. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? It's my first time caller.
You're last.
Yes, clearly. I'll need to put a post-it note in the computer to remind me how to work a headset, right? So I've got several problems, Craig. Right.
Right.
And I don't think this has been covered enough by the media, right? But Office of National Statistics, I tried to get this across in a space the other day, but ironically, I couldn't get my headset to work that day either. So it's great that you guys can all hear me. So economic activity in the UK, 8 million people now registered as unemployed and claiming benefits. Just an increase. I guess if you wanted to look, I can't join the chat because it's looking for my page, but my kind of YouTube pages there. But if you look at the Office of National Statistics homepage, right, there's some headlines in there that make for some real scary reading when you consider that Rachel Reeves is on today claiming that our growth rate for the country of GDP up by 0.3%, which some might argue is a rounding error, is a great news for the economy, right? But reading statistics like, high streets and shopping centres, retail footfall falling by 2%, UK ports is decreasing, seasonally adjusted numbers for daily flights, increased by 2%. I wonder if that's more migrants getting sick of rubber dinghies. All of these consumer behaviour indicators are all down, right? So if you think about the actual money in people's pockets has clearly been taken out of the economy, and ultimately this is going to make growth even harder, right? And what people are failing to realise, right, is there's this underlying current of tax the rich. The rich should be paying in this. Gary from Gary's Economics touts about this all the time. But I've seen another statistic, and I'll give credit where credit's due to a chap. I posted it on my Extreme as well, that says the UK has seen a decline in, let me just find the post, bear with me. Patriot, let me see where I posted that. So here we go. Global millionaire migration, right? So the leader of this national poll, right, of the global millionaire migration, there is 9,500 millionaires emigrated to United Arab Emirates, 7,500 to United States. What do you think the net figure for the UK is? Have a guess. The 5 year in the room.
A big minus. And how many years? Is it 1 year or?
Just 1 year, right? So expected to leave by the highest to 25.
I would say minus 20,000.
Close. Minus 16,500 millionaires are leaving the UK. Who bears the biggest tax burden for the tax revenues in this country? Arguably those guys, right? And don't get me wrong, obviously everybody that's not quite a millionaire but earns above the price. Now, when Rachel Reeves talks about a 22 billion black hole and then a 50 billion pound black hole, what do you think it's going to be in the next budget?
Well, that's right. Do you know, when we were up in Aberdeen on Saturday, I was laughing at the banners that were put because some of them were just mental, right? And there was one, and it said, "We have X amount of billionaires and X amount of," I can't remember, it wasn't homeless, but it was like people with no money, whatever. I can't remember what they were using to gauge it on. And I was laughing at it, and it was John Watt said, "What is it? Why do you not like that, Craig?" He says, "Because that's more your sort of bag than mine. What is the problem with having there no billionaires?" And I says, "Well, see, the next time anything in the United Kingdom needs hundreds of millions of pounds invested in it, if we don't have any billionaires, then who's going to invest the money? Because that's what billionaires do. People who have got 100 quid in the bank might invest a tenner, and somebody that's got millions in the bank might invest a couple of 100 grand. But when you need some serious money or some serious projects and some serious backers that were going to put hundreds of millions of pounds in, then you kind of need folk that have got billions, or nobody can do it.
Yes, and indeed, right. And I guess there's another couple of angles to this, right, that I just want to raise to make people aware. So obviously, you talked a good point about billionaires raising capital for, you know, significant investments, but there's a lot of people who are starting small businesses or venture capitalists. They need money as well to grow their business, to take it from an idea or, you know, a mom and pop shop to make it grow bigger. They need investment to make this happen. And when 16,500 of these millionaires are leaving and everybody's wanting to tax the billionaires, who've probably already left, right? They've got fucking yachts parked off Greenock, they've probably sailed away already, right? There is nobody to help catalyze this economy and get it moving, right? And I think that the missing piece for me, right, and this is something I'm noticing in the media. It's a them versus us. It's the division thing. We've seen it in Scotland for a long time, where they want to divide the nationalists from the unionists, and you've seen the division that that's caused on social media. People are at each other's throats. The left wing, the right wing, people are at each other's throats. This can be fixed quite simply, in my opinion, right? And it can be fixed not by taxing the rich, not by taxing the people who can barely afford to pay their electric bill, not by taxing the middle classes, but instead, why don't we just make businesses pay a living wage? Right now, people will say, "Oh, well, this is ridiculous. That's obviously going to put businesses at a real issue." Well, what I'm saying is, why can we not reduce their tax burden and encourage growth, right, through that way?
Well, you'll not get that with anybody that's left of centre politically minded, because that doesn't come into their vocabulary. But it would work. But
here's the thing.
Do you know what else you're saying about? But you're saying about have a living wage, right? And make that the standard, right? I actually heard somebody go a step further. It was an American guy, can't remember his name, and he was very, very rich. What he said was, don't have a minimum wage, have a maximum wage. Because whatever the figure is, if you had a maximum wage that somebody can take out of business, then it probably leave more money in the business, which could inevitably get put into the wages of the people that are working in that business. I thought, well, that's a cracker, because I don't know how you'd get to the figure, but if you did have a maximum wage, then you would automatically be putting more money into the pot, which would raise the average of everybody else. And I thought, that's interesting. I'm not saying it's what we should do, but I thought it was an interesting theory, and it's something that should maybe be explored.
It's a great idea, but I kind of want to come back to that, because the second benefit you get from giving people a living wage is they don't then need universal credit to top up their wages. They don't need extra housing benefit to pay their rent.
The other thing you would get, you know, hear this argument quite a lot for people that say, it's no worth my while going to work.
Exactly.
If I went to work, I'd get £50 extra per week because I'd lose the benefits, and it makes working actually economically unviable for a lot of people. And that's a bonkers way. That's just because we've had a benefit state for so long, and 99 times out of 100, we're changing any benefits, they're going up the way. You know, when they go down, people are very fit. So governments don't want to cut benefits, so they keep just putting them up and putting them up and putting them up and putting them up, and we end up in a position where, unless you're getting probably 30 grand a year, it's not worth your while working. And that's why we've got a state in Scotland where 20% of the kids or youth have never and might never put anything into the pot. That's a bonkers fact, isn't it?
And look at the statistics specifically in Scotland, right? Over half the electorate don't pay taxes, right? But Scotland's thriving apparently, right? Over half make such little wages they don't pay taxes. So not only they're not paying taxes, but they'll be getting some kind of top up of universal credit or benefits through their housing. And the SNP seem to think the way to resolve this is, well, we'll give everybody a child poverty payment. People need to wake up and realise we're on a race to the bottom here, but there's nothing down there but pain, misery and bankruptcy. That if we don't address this and actually turn that around, this country's finished. completely finished. Now, I don't want to believe we're there yet, I think, but we need to get some radical mindset shift that moves this away to actually being more positive for people, right? Giving people a fair living wage that gives them something to be proud of when they get up and go to work, not just an excuse for a sick day or something else.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
it's just we need a mindset shift, and I don't think pitching rich against poor, left against right is going to solve that. When you see Tesco and all of these high street brands that have absolutely been trouncing the farmers, trouncing the retailers, you know, sorry, the high streets, and also the people who have to spend money to feed their families. These guys are making massive profits, and the people that work in there are still on barely enough wages, right? They're certainly not living wages. They're probably just above minimum wage. And I think that's just disgusting for me. A lot of these companies, particularly the ones that are, you know, multinationals, highly profitable, if they want to take our business and host businesses in our high street, they have a duty of care to pay a living wage to the people that work in them, and not just siphon off the profits to some, you know, Gulf of Mexico island or Gulf of America island, depending on where you are from, and just basically evade tax. Let's be clear about it, or ship their profits through Dublin to skew their GDP figures by basically charging 10% corporation tax. And to cap it all off, right, you have Shona Robinson, right, who is the most incompetent person I've ever seen in public sector, let alone in an office of such importance to the welfare of this country, talking about fiscal autonomy when she doesn't really understand the basic fundamentals of autonomy and what that would actually mean. The SNP have just engineered this setup to boost themselves, and then you see you see the Queen of Spin, Nicola Sturgeon, on talking about how she had a great tenure. It's just so yes, many problems. I'll go back on mute, and I'll thank you for your time, and I'll go and, like I say, write a post-it note for my computer so that I can actually figure out how to work a headset.
Go into that favourite thing of yours, AI, and ask them, right, set your reminders or something. But what's interesting is Papa Tango has wrote this several times tonight that he wants to talk. It's dead simple, Papa Tango. Everybody else that's talking has been able to do it. You go into you're on YouTube, go into the description at YouTube, and about the third paragraph down, there's a link there for people that want to come up and talk. Click a button, get yourself up, tell us system have a problem, and crack on. The floor's yours. It's no difficult because people like Kevin manage to do it regularly.
Aye, very good.
Denzel.
Aye, Denzel.
Yes, Denzel. Denzel is,
Oh,
by the way.
one other thing, guys. I did watch your speeches up at Peterhead, and he's done fantastic. Very charismatic. Very came across very well. So well done to you all. Congratulations.
But apparently that's kind of almost universal, apart from Kate. Kate didn't like the speeches.
If she had a coherent point to make and was cognizant of facts and figures as opposed to headlines and division, she might have got a bit more mileage out of the conversation, but she was too busy telling everybody to keep quiet and let me speak.
Yeah, but just wanted to be an empty vessel. Right, so we've got Karen Evans who's joined the green room, and I'm going to bring Karen up. So Karen, I think this is your first time caller. It's dead simple. Just come in, say, Houston, we have a problem, and tell us what your problem is. Karen, the stage is...
Hey, Houston, we have a problem. How are you?
I'm very well, Karen. I love your accent. Where are you from?
From America. How about yourself? You from Scotland?
You're from America?
Sam?
All right.
And
American accent.
may I
Whereabouts
ask?
in America are you from? What state?
I'm from Michigan.
Magic. Almost Canadian. So, what's your problem that you want to tell us about, Karen?
Well, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm actually against racism. So I have a different opinion to you.
Yeah, I think most people
So
are
we
against racism, Karen, so you don't have any different opinion to me. We're both
oh no,
against
but
racism.
oh no, I'm sorry, but the way you're speaking, it sounds like you're sort of
Oh my
against
God.
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay,
Sounds like
could you do
another
me a
one.
wee favour? That's no problem. Could you do me a wee favour, Karen?
I'm
Could you give
sorry,
me
I
one
didn't mean to.
example? Could you give me one
No, I just
example of my racism,
no,
please?
I mean generally the way you're speaking. All you
Right,
guys are
so
talking about.
right, I'm going to ask you. This is dead simple because again, that's quite a big, bold, brash statement to make in
I don't mean
public
to be rude.
forum. I don't think you're rude at all, but you'll be rude if you don't allow me to ask you a question and actually answer it. That would be rude. So what I want you to
Okay,
do,
go ahead.
Karen, is I want you to give me one example of me being a racist.
No, I don't mean any words in particular. Just the way you guys are speaking about foreigners. I think it's very sort of
So with this
disrespectful.
American accent of yours that keeps disappearing every time you open your mouth, could you give me one example
Sorry?
of me being
No, just the
racist?
way you're
That would be
speaking.
great. The way I'm speaking
The
is
way
racist. Okay, can you
yes, it is.
maybe
I'm not going to get into an argument
expand
with
on
you.
that?
I'm
What,
not
sorry?
getting into an argument with you. I'm not getting into an argument with you.
I'm not asking you to get into an
Like,
argument. I'm asking you to back
That's
up
a whole new accent, that is.
the very
I'm not racist. Unlike you, I'm
big
not
claim,
racist.
right? The big claim that you made that I am racist. I'm going to ask you for the third time to give me one example of me
Because you
being
keep
racist.
you fellas keep speaking about foreigners in a bad light.
Oh, away you go. Go and buy all your heat.
Kevin,
Nobody spoke about
don't
foreigners in
react.
a bad
Kevin, don't react. That's exactly why Karen, who I don't think female, I definitely don't think's American, is up here to try and get you to react. So Karen, thank you very much for joining the chat.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Cherry by now. Right, back to business. Papa Tango, you want to talk, please just come up and talk. Hit the link. By the way, it's that easy. Idiots can do it. As we've seen several times tonight. Right? It's not a difficult thing to do, or some of the crackpots we've had join us tonight wouldn't be to do it. So Karen from Michigan, heard that. Anyway, guys, just before we finish up, let's do a wee recap of what's happened in the news recently and tell us what's baffled you, upset you, got your juices flowing. Crack on. Something zipped there. Who was that? Was just unzipping there?
It was me. I was
Kev.
putting down my blood sugar, so I was just checking them.
Thank God for that. So it was a wee blood sugar out. That's
It was
what
my
made
big
it.
house. It was my
That's
house.
that. You and I heard that. And it obviously wasn't Stephen because I could see both his hands at the time. It keeps me getting concerned about the depravity of the people in the room.
What's that, sorry?
It was getting me a bit concerned about the depravity of people in the room. If this continues, you're probably going to need to put a passport in front of the internet to take us a step further. Anyway, Kev, what's been getting you going this last few days in the news?
Just the same gripe I've always had. I mean, I'm not going to change on it. I mean, I know you guys talk about a lot of things, and the obviously base Patriot was up there, and I mean he's quite intelligent when it comes to the economy, the same as yourself and things like that. Look, my stance is I don't want any more of these illegals making their way into our country. I want it stopped. I want them removed. I want them out the hotels. I want communities back to being safe and secure. I want to see more and more protests with people if they find that their hotels have got people, men in there. I want folk to start getting out there and finding their voices and standing up. I mean, it's the biggest thing I've got the biggest issue with. I don't like the directs they travel in our country. And it's just, I'm just getting sick to the back teeth of just getting gaslit by our governments. And then the fact that they just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it when people are clearly upset, clearly concerned. And the fact of the matter is, you've still got our people that are in charge here saying, well, do you know what, we're just going to keep ignoring you and just keep making your communities, etc., unsafe. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Let's get back out there on the road, get these hotels exposed. Hopefully If they are any of the hotels I'm exposing, I've got these people in them and you're not aware of it, then hopefully the people in that area will get round and start protesting out in front of them. We want them gone. We don't want them here. And that's just the same. That's basically as long and short of it for me. So I've not really been watching too much of the news this week because I'm just everything you kind of watch right now, just kind of saw doom and gloom. I'm still buzzing for the weekend at Peterhead. Peterhead was fantastic, and I'm hoping the good people at Peterhead will do another one. Because I'll tell you what, man, you were made to feel really welcome by these people up there. Great bunch of people, great protest, and hopefully we could do another. There'll be another one up there at some point in the future. Because I think the next one that you do up there will be even bigger than the one you've done the first time round. So so I'm just going to try and get involved a wee bit more with protests, something in the country. Anybody that's on X and they're going to be protesting outside the hotels, just get it shared. We'll get get all the information out there and get people aware of it, because that's the problem we've got. There's too many protests getting done, but nobody's getting to know about them. And then obviously the numbers are not turning up. We need to start flooding these places. Any hotel or any protest that's getting organised, let's get it flooded. Make sure there's not just a couple of people. Make sure there's hundreds there, and then hopefully thousands. And to quote a phrase that you said one time, Craig, hopefully at one point down the line they'll not even be in the same postcode as us. There'll be that many of us on the streets. So that's what we need to be getting done.
Right, well, we've got a call in, so we're going to give the floor to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, just tell us, Houston, we have a problem. Tell us what your problem is.
Houston, we have a problem.
And it is?
I like colour people. I don't support racism. And
My friend, we agree on that.
I just
Thanks very much
appreciate,
for your comments.
you know.
Have a great day.
Oh my!
That's mental. How much is that?
7.
7.
Stephen, let's get your bodies. Let's get your juices going the last few days on the news or current affairs.
Just finding out that now police are actually handing out bail conditions for people that's not allowed to attend protests. That's a bit of a stinker. You were speaking about John Carr earlier, and about the guy that was banned for attending the protest in Aberdeen. Remember the first one you shared, Kev? The first Aberdeen one?
Aye.
She's actually been bailed in her conditions where she was now attend any protests. So that's why she wasn't at Peterhead. In Lewis as well, one of our speakers, the guy with the voiceover voice. So that's him, and his brother as well, Chris. So it's
I think Chris is all right.
Understand. Oh, is Chris a lot?
I think so far what I know he's okay, but Lewis, yeah.
Right, okay. I think did John do an interview or his YouTube video regarding Lewis?
Yeah, his YouTube video is about Lewis.
I haven't watched it yet. I was just sent a link, so I'll give it a watch after this.
Do you know it's quite interesting? Sorry to interrupt. That they think this is something they can do now, right? But ironically, under the Human Rights Act 1988, which incorporates obviously the European Human Rights Convention or the ECHR, it is your human right to express your views in ways you see fit and join peaceful demonstrations to represent your views. So they're actually breaching their human rights, I believe, if they do that.
See, the guy knows his law as well. He studied law, so I know
5 years.
So I'm guessing that he kind of knows if it's set in stone that he can't come. So I'm guessing
Give me
anyway.
a second and I'll have a look.
I studied 5 years in law.
Kev, read that comment and text me who you think it is.
Who's this? What I done? Is that Papa Tango you talking about?
This is Papa Tango all night spent like, I want to speak. Just come up and speak. Just come up for 2 minutes, Papa. In fact, we'll give you 3, right? If you learn how to read, right? Go into the description, it'll tell you what to do with the link, and you click and you come into the space and you'll see with the level of cracks that's been up tonight, won't let anybody have their say. So, come on, up you come. Sorry. Aye. So people are now getting bail conditions. To be fair, I'm not going to talk about my bail conditions, but I might one day. It's not today because my case is still live. And they're pretty bonkers. Right? And you go, right. They can make them practically whatever they want. And you either sign them or you don't. And if you don't agree to them, because I said, well, what if I even want to take legal advice on these bail conditions presented to me? So you go back into that cell. You don't actually need to present you with bail conditions. It's just an offer, an undertaking that you take to get you released before your trial. So you can make them whatever they want. You actually agree to them. You don't want to agree to them because you feel they're preaching your human rights. Don't sign them. You just get put back into the cell. Because if you don't sign the bail conditions, then you can't get out. So you could write anything. You're not allowed to go to the swimming. Right? You're not allowed to walk your dog. Anything you want. And you either sign them or don't sign them. And it's down to you. So you actually agree to an undertaking. They're not actually bail conditions. It's an undertaking that you agree to. And mine's are bonkers. Wait to hear mine, right? I'll hopefully in the non too distant future I can tell people a cracking story about what's happened to me over the last 9-10 weeks. And it was meant to have a hearing last Friday. And as I said earlier, on the Wednesday, my lawyer phoned me and says, you're not going to court. Can pack me up the park. And on the Thursday, I had the cops at the door to give me a new one of these. That was the old one that's got my address and that on it. But you get one of these, right? And I got it when it tells you when you have to come to court. And I got a new one, which I'm not going to put it. Is that it there? Yeah, there's a new one, which has got my address on it. Tell me when to come to court now. So my bail conditions continue. Well, I was prepared to go to court on Friday and possibly have my bail conditions reduced at court or not, and that's you up for another 6 weeks up the path. So that's the process. And mine's are bail. Anyway, so DJR, what's been floating your boat? What's been catching your attention?
I've not been focusing on social media a lot, to be honest. I've just been doing my own stuff, just posting out. But it's just been quite interesting seeing the change in Aberdeen, really. People starting to voice their opinions, starting to go out to these events, and yeah, it's happened quite fast, really. How fast everything's taken off, really, up in Aberdeen.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Right, we've got another caller, so fingers on the buzzers. Awakened has come up to speak. Awakened, I'm going to bring you on the stage. Tell us who's going to have a problem. Tell us what your problem is, and then we can have a wee discussion. The stage is yours. Hello, Awakened. Awakened, you've called in. I'll put you on the stage. Your mic's not muted. The floor is yours. Okay.
So I've done some Googling in the quiet time, right? So basically CHR, a blanket ban on attending any protest as a pre-trial bail conditions are problematic and likely violate human rights under Article 11, which protects the freedom of peaceful assembly and association, and Article 6, which guarantees presumption of innocence if you haven't been convicted yet, right? Now, blanket protest bans are generally not proportionate because they restrict your fundamental rights without individual assessment, and they go beyond what's necessary to ensure attendance at a trial or prevent reoffending, and they fail the proportionality test. They're too broad and indiscriminate, right? What courts should actually consider is, do the restrictions require prescribed by law? Is it pursuing a legitimate aim, i.e. preventing disorder? And is it necessary and proportionate in a democratic society? And I'm no black belt barrister, I'm barely a yellow belt talking head, but frankly, those fail the test for me. So to hear people who are being denied their rights in order to get released from an overcrowded system, that feels proportionally unfair to me.
Yep, but again, it doesn't. There's no law against it, right? You can put whatever they want in a bail condition. You agree to it or disagree to it, and if you disagree with it, you put it back in the pokey hat. Because what you're meant to do is get arrested, get charged, stay in jail, you go to court, then you come out, you plead your case, you get found guilty or not guilty, you either go up the road or you go back to jail, right? That's how the process works. But there's this thing now called an undertaking, where the police say, you don't really need to hold you in jail because you're not going to be a danger to society, but you need to put these conditions onto your undertaking that you will come back and appear in court on a set date and agree to not do any of these things. So that's kind of the system.
So I don't think that system is lawful in that context. But again, I'm no lawyer. But I guess
well, possibly, but it's not unlawful because they're not dictating to you. You're actually agreeing to it. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing, right? So if you didn't agree to it and you said, well, you've got to go back in the jail, right? If you agreed to every condition except that one, well, by definition, like Bobby says, that sounds like lawfare to me. Right?
Yeah.
Ironically, if you do breach your bail conditions, police can arrest you, detain you, and remand you in custody and revoke your bail, which to me just feels. This to me is one of the reasons why the UK is in decline, right? We don't have free speech. We don't have the ability to speak up for what we believe in. And I get some people think well, your views are racist, right? That's what people are saying because you're hearing things from a different perspective. Nobody's said anything racist that I can remember in any of your spaces or online. Clearly, it's something that people are using, much like, oh, you're a misogynist if you don't like trans people. All of these labels that people throw on people to act in a derogatory way, I don't think work anymore. Frankly, you need to come up with a better argument.
See, the thing is, though, Dave, you just done wrong there. Freedom of speech. There is freedom of speech. It just doesn't apply to us.
There's not freedom as consequence. Right, Awaken's come back into the room, so I'm going to try again and give them the stage. So, Awaken.
Hello.
Hi.
You
have the floor, Awakened. Are you going to talk, Awakened? Obviously not. Right. So, yeah, I think we've had a long one tonight, 2 hours and 22 minutes. I just want to update you on something which I think is absolutely splendid. And let me just get it refreshed. And we can go add to stage. And there we go. John Carr is now at 111 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And he's not put any videos out, so I kind of think it's down to the people that have come in here that he has to go and give them a subscription. So well done, troops. And DJR, make sure when you see him, that thing you're going to tell him that we're looking after him. And I hope he does well with his channel. Okay? Now, because there is a saying, third time lucky, I'm going to try one more time, and one more time only. I'm going to pop Awakened into the room and give you the floor. Awakened, how can we help you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you want to say anything, Awakened, or do you just want to come up and say, can you hear me? We can hear you loud and clear, and we've brought you up 3 times to talk, and each time you've made one noise and not spoke. So do you have anything to say?
He might be having
There's
trouble with his
multiple.
headset.
There's multiple chat going on. I don't know. I can't hear you.
Right. Well, if you can't hear
Hello,
us,
can
we
you hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes.
Hello. So, you know maybe my voice. Maybe I'm from Northern Ireland.
Hello there.
Yes, I'm trying to.
Mate, this isn't difficult. We've had absolute crackpots been able to come up here and talk tonight. You've probably got the thing on sound somewhere else in your house and you're hearing me like on a 10-second delay. So I'm going to try one more time. Awakened, do you have anything to say? That'll be a no then. Right. Going to finish up, and it's been eventful. We've had some cracking cranks in the room. And I think the next time that happens, what we'll do is we'll have a simple rule. You need to come up, stick your camera on. If you're not, don't come up, and that will sort them out. So, anybody get anything to say before we finish up?
I know exactly who that was. Who just came on.
Who was it?
It was he's from the counter protest in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Listen, he's just showing himself up because what he does on Saturdays is turns up at counter protests that are about asylum seekers and shouts about Palestine, which are two totally different things. That really humoured me. I thought that was really, really funny that people were doing that. It was really funny. So Awakens came up.
The StreamYard's a wee bit delayed, if you just bear with me. I'm getting
Aye,
echoing.
better hurry up, Awakened. Well, it's because you've got something else going on in your head. So do you want to just hurry up and get involved in the conversation or stop trying?
I do.
Go on then. This might be funny to you, Awakening, but you're actually just showing yourself up for being a complete tosser. Cheery bye now. Laurie, how are you? How can we help you?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Bang average.
You've had some crackpots on the night, have you know?
Just a few. Aye, and half of them have been here all night.
Right. I said something in the chat earlier on about maybe time for us to start boycotting companies that employ illegal immigrants, supply equipment to illegal immigrants, and what else was it? There was 3 different things that I was saying it about, but I'll go a step further. We need to keep a list of every single company that's having anything to do with this illegal immigration problem. And I'm talking about, I'll go as far as to name like Just Eat, Deliveroo and whatnot for employing them, JD Sports for handing out equipment to get them free, the hotels that they're putting them up in. We need to keep a list of all them and, boycott them into bankruptcy when this is over with.
Mm-hmm.
This can't be something that when we fix this immigration problem, that we forget about all these companies and hotels and whatnot that have done this, because they're all just as complicit as the government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I get it. And I think there'll be a lot of hotels that if this thing does get fixed and they try to open their doors for normal people, then the normal people let them know exactly what they think about them. And I thought it was really brave of, was it Travelodge? What's the other one? Travelodge Premier Inn. Can't remember what one it was.
Premier
Came
Inn.
out and said, yeah, we will never close our doors to solely have asylum seekers. And that's fair. And listen, they probably at time to times, because a lot of hotels put up homeless people for a wee night or two here and there, right? And I'm sure there'll be the odd asylum seeker done the same, where they're stuck somewhere and they need a room, and Premier Inn and Travelodge will probably have them. I'm quite sure about it. But to actually make that statement, I thought, fair play to you. That's the type of companies that we should be endorsing going forward. But
Definitely. Well, they've gave up. Sorry, Craig. They've gave up. What are the contracts that the government have signed with all these hotels? Is it something like 5 years or something?
Some of them are 5 years, and there's some people suggesting 7 years, Norrie. And I put a tweet out yesterday or the day before, and I said, if standards, now every week and almost every day now, we hear of new ones that are coming onto the, these deals, getting these deals. But why? Why do we need new ones when standards telling us, I'm going to smash the boats, I'm going to smash the gangs, I'm going to stop the boats? It doesn't make sense. If you actually genuinely, that's what you're going to do, why would you sign another 5 or a 7 year contract to put these people up that you're telling us you're going to stop? It beggars belief.
Exactly.
And also, there's something else worth considering, Norrie. We've got this agenda where we have to get up in arms about the people arriving in boats that we're picking up for the English Channel and dropping them off in Dover. And I've stood in the hills overlooking where this is happening with the guys that count it, not the official guys that count it for news outlets like GB News and stuff. And their figures, and they're counting the ones coming off the boats, right, are always like within 2-3% of the figures that come out 48 hours later by the government, right? And we're told that's illegal immigration. Well, that's one port of entry. And I'm convinced that all the other ports of entry there'll still be people getting smuggled through the ferries over to the left in Dover. And there'll be people, and I know there are people still landing in beaches because they come at night. They don't get picked up out the ocean, out the channel. So these figures are just, and we get angry with these figures, and that's nowhere near the true figure, because if that was the true figures, we wouldn't need all these hotels. The true figures are far greater than any of us are told. But it suits people for us to get all upset about the boats and say, oh, the boat people are too high. When there's more coming in through other means, there's more people coming in probably through tourist visas that just forget to go home. And people are in under student visas that forget to go home. And people that just fly here and stay here. So it's nonsense. And the figures will be truly, if we ever get them, the true figures will be astronomical and frightening, because it's impossible for that to be the true figures, or we wouldn't need all these bloody hotels. So it's just lies, just all lies and contradictions that, we're going to smash the boats, but we'll give you probably about 100 or more new contracts in the time that they've been in power and controlled the Home Office.
The thing that really makes me laugh, though, this will just be my kind of wee final bit on it, because I know you all want to get finished up here. Sorry, the point in my head there, and it's just jumped out. Aye, the narrative for the left is that these protests that we're having are racist. Now,
yeah,
I don't know about the rest of the country, but we had Polish, Sikh, and I can't mind what the other nationality is, whether it was Chinese or not, but these were all legal, these were all people that had came through the legal migration system, and they're all protesting against this. So, this whole, we're racist thing, the narrative of that is smashed if you look at the demographic and the people that are protesting against these illegal immigrant hotels. It's no white British males. It's no men that are out there protesting. We've got women, we've got kids, we've got just about every nationality covered in ours. And we're no out there protesting against every, this whole thing where it's, you're protesting against immigration. No, we're protesting against illegal immigration. There's a difference. It's undocumented, unchecked people coming into our country that we're not happy with.
The level of immigration, even illegal immigration, is too high. There's no immigrants that people hate. It's no foreigners people hate. They think that immigration is at a level that's too high. And yes, some of them they hate, the ones that come here and they make it unsafe for our children and unsafe for our females. Yeah, we hate them, but we would hate them even if they weren't the immigrants, because I hate everybody that abuses kids. I hate everybody that batters women, right? So it doesn't matter about skin colour. And as I said up in the Peterhead rally, we've got plenty of people of our own that are bad to children. It's one skill shortage we're no short of. So we don't
No.
need any more, thank you. When you bring in undocumented people in their droves, and the vast majority, 80–90% of them appear to be fighting age males, and you don't know who they are, then that makes people feel more unhappy. So that's no racism. That's using common sense and logic. And hating people that abuse kids is not confined to just people with a different skin colour for me. I hate them all.
No, I'm totally agreeing with you on that. It's not a one, grooming gangs and whatnot, it's not a one-sided issue, but it's certainly a crime that's, how can I say it? It's not limited just to one section of society, but it's certainly a hallmark of one section of society. And the thing that really knocks me is that anybody that even tries to call anything out about this is automatically tarred a racist or in some way a hateful figure. There's nothing hateful about wanting your children and your women and your country to be safe.
Call me old-fashioned for wanting kids and women to be safe. Don't call me a racist for it. And you've heard the amount of people that have come up tonight, the cranks, right? The gun platoon have been a bit active on here tonight. And I've said to every single one of them, give me one example of me being racist. And they can't. Because it's just a tag. It's just a way of trying to shut up somebody and make their points irrelevant. Because if anybody is genuinely racist, then they've no point, they've no room in the society that I wish. So rightfully, any racist should be, ostracised, whatever. So, but it's just a throwaway tag. It's just like saying, I mean, Hamza Yusuf himself called me Islamophobic, which was fun. And I sat one Saturday morning and a tweet that he put out. It was a far-right Islamophobic racist, conspiracy theorist. I think I get the full bingo card that day after him. You're like, all right, does that mean you shut up now? Aye, no problem, Hamza. Anyway, that's kind of where we are. So listen, thanks very much for coming up.
No problem, buddy.
It's good that we're getting people just, listeners just popping in, because that's kind of what I wanted. Now, if I need to take a wee bit of grief off, a wee bit of an idiot now and again, and just, listen to them, pat them out after 30 seconds, then so be it. So we can get to the good, normal people like yourself, Norrie. So thanks very much for coming up. It was appreciated.
Not a problem, buddy. It was good being on. Nice meeting you all, and you're all doing good work. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
So just to finish off, we've been round Stevie. Did we get to truth? No, we never got to Stevie, actually. What's been getting your juices flowing on the news in the last couple of days?
It was I brought up the the guys getting bail conditions for the
the bail conditions
for the thingy, but I don't know if is DJR talked about the protest that's happening on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to finish up on giving all the protests that I know about a wee bit of a platform. So what's going on up there?
Falkirk's got a big one.
Yeah.
They've actually got a page on Facebook. They've just opened an X account as well now. Facebook is Aberdeen Against Illegal Immigration, and our X is AA.
I am 2025, I think.
I can't even remember.
I am 2025, I think.
There we go. Right, so the guy John's doing a cracking job. Like, he's trying to make it better than the normal shouting matches. So let's say John Carr, obviously he's going. Josh Fernie for our protest, he's going. I think he's got a couple of nurse speakers as well, so it should be good. Just hope everybody that's watching this that's in Aberdeen or surrounding areas gets up at 6 o'clock.
I've got some breaking news. I've just been threatened by Alex Kearney.
What she said?
I phoned him the day and I says, Alex, I'm going to do a wee thing about this story about the cop that is up at court he's a trans cop, Met Office abusing a 13-year-old and an adult. There's a couple of charges. Right, he's come on and done a wee 5 minutes. So I've done my 10-minute moan and then said, no, I've got Alex, and here's Alex's opinion on it, right? And he's just seen the thumbnail and he's telling me I have to get the 42. It's fucking rotten.
You better fucking change that, you big bastard.
He's brilliant, man. He says, the first one was something about the 40. I says, there's a decent 40 of you exist, send it if you find one.
There's a decent 40.
Oh, brilliant.
You're going on your next trip on your own.
Aye, so much for him. Aye, Alex was going to come and we meet a dangerous place that I'm trying to tie up for the end of the month, but I think that'll be part out now. But Alex was going to come, so I'm hopefully get another trip lined up and where I want to go. I've done Dover and Cali, so that's kind of where the problems had our show. I then went to, and I thought, well, how did I get into Europe? So I went to Lesbos a fortnight ago, 3 weeks ago, and covered that. That was an eye-opener. Now I want to go to the city in Europe that's got the worst effects of immigration, and it's a bit of a disaster going with hand grenades and stuff on the street. And Alex was like, you can't go there yourself, I'll come here with you, and he'll try and help me on the my journey. So maybe put paid to that because of the bad thing. I see the photograph that I used. I put an Alec Kearney into Google and hit images, and the one it brought up was him on his James English. Right. I hope this is abusive to that James English because he used the 40 before me. It was a 40 for him being live on James's show a while ago. So anyway, guys, I'm going to need to go. I'm puffed out. That was 2 hours and 41 minutes, and we've had about hovering about the 200 mark each in every minute we look on YouTube. But overall, because people come in and go, we've reached, it's just refreshing now, just under 3,000. The X number is at 550, so and then there've been a few on Facebook. So there's about 3,500 to 4,000 people. That's good going. That's fantastic. Thanks everybody who's come up and spoke. Thanks to my co-hosts that have come up and kept me company when there's not been anybody coming in. Thanks very much. What's this? Denzel has entered. I've now got Kevin twice. What's going on?
I don't know what happened there. It just it was you were talking there, and then I just it just crashed.
Aye. Well, you were in twice here. I've just took the original one out. But thanks, biggest thanks to those who are people who have been watching the show and decided to take us up the offer of coming up and saying who's to have a problem, because that's kind of the whole point of having the show. So thanks very much to everybody.
Just see before you put your closing line out there, I just want to thank the trolls for coming in tonight and making this show even more popular. You've done well tonight in the comment sections and the chat. So well done. Give yourselves a round of applause, because I've no doubt it'll continue to get, if you keep coming in, it'll just make it more and more popular. So thank you.
I like Sandy's comment. I take it that's
what she said.
Sandy from Shawnee's Spaces. Good night, Craig, Denzel and friends.
I'm not talking to Sandy. She's getting blocked.
And there's another pal of yours as well. She's been cheeky in the comments on it. That lady K1314. Kind of think we know who that is as well.
Aye. I was cheeky.
Did you send me a message? I asked you a question. Who did you think that person was? Did you get back to me?
No, not yet.
You never.
I can't do it. If I do that, well, I'm on the thing. That'll just cut me out.
Lady K came up with a cracker, said I think he's away walking his dogs. Anyway, you're angry, mate. You should chill out. Don't know who Michael's suggesting is angry. I kind of don't get angry.
I know. There's been a couple of absolute wallopers in the comment section, right? Michael.
There's a belter. Houston is a low-level shit stirrer.
Oh,
that's your troll.
That's your troll.
Here's a mad thing, Jocker. What is it? Jockamola. I'm talking to you now, right? Nobody else. Just you. Out the 3,500 people who watched this, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. And here's the maddest thing. You know who I am. I don't have a clue or care who you are. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Cheery bye now.